Yo, let's go see what happens with this.
Stream Elements. Scrappy DP is now live. Streaming Fortnite, December 3rd, 2023. Just a few.
Ooh, what sort of new guns we got, buddy? Vital Underground. Discord. Why is Discord launching over here? You should never launch in this window. You should launch in this. Okay, cool. Let's go. Yo, check it. Let me change my voice to voice method. Push to talk. Push to talk. Hello. I'm sorry, Ollie Ryan. I don't accept friend requests. This is my first game on, Mr. Oliver. Let's go. Is that where we're landing? I don't think so. I don't want to go to the ice. You don't want to go to the ice? I don't know anything about this map or how to play this, buddy.
I'm a level 1, Mom.
Hello. Why is someone shooting at me? What the fuck guns are these? Running gun, frenzy auto shotgun. This is goofy, man. Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting, buddy? What is this thing on the map that we're in, that circle? What is that circle thing that we're in? This orange thing. Is that someone else and able to see us in that, or what is that? What the absolute fuck are you doing? Don't ever do that again. What the fuck? Like, you're gonna pull up the wine one or no?
To upsell.
Get the more expensive one. It goes better with the spaghetti.
Or they are a Pisces and you shouldn't trust their opinion anyway. Something else to expect at a restaurant? Expect to get ripped off by the mark. Most restaurants have a 250 to 300% markup on their wine, and the cheaper the bottle, the higher the proportional markup tends to be. So a $20 bottle will turn into an $80 bottle, but a $100 bottle may only rise to $150. Most people get the second cheapest bottle on the menu, regardless of the pairing, and that'll do just fine. And that's it, no more tips. Unless you want to leave me one. Actually, you know what? I got a fucking tip for you, mate. Ad time. I bet you're wondering how I got this. What much notices to American law? I don't know. You know, us winemasons, we control everything. We are few, but many. That doesn't make sense. Look at the back of this box. See the No Fat Chicks logo? We put that there. It is the symbol of our organization. We have a dirty finger in every glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us, whoops, perhaps you'll have a little accident. Last year, Little Upstart tried to make wine actually taste good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him up so good he had to get stitches in every glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us, whoops, perhaps you'll have a little accident. Last year, Little Upstart tried to make wine actually taste good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him up so good he had to get stitches. We caught one reporter trying to dig around into our operation. We all know how that one ended. With an airstrike. Alright, my little G-spot. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Why is champagne called champagne? Well, I'll tell you. It all began in 1660.
Because of the fucking place it
In the
comes from,
ambient
champagne.
safety of Northeast France, there's something spooky going on. It's springtime, and in the cellar where they keep all the wine, bottles would suddenly, unexpectedly, explode. Now this was especially common during morning mass. Oh, that's a bad omen. Sometimes the explosions would cause little chain reactions, and bottle after bottle would break down the line, ruining the majority of the crop. The peasants were frightened and also parched.
Sacre Blue, lay wine. What is happening?
The monks would refer to this as the devil's wine.
The wine is cursed. The god, he must be angry at us. We need a hero.
In walks Don Perignon. He is just a man for a job. A Benedictine monk at the abbey. He's got a new role, the cellar master. And it's his mission to find out what the hell is going on here. So Don starts looking at all the bottles. And what he figures out pretty quickly is that the wine itself is releasing gas. The gas builds up pressure, and why that is happening, he doesn't know. But it's his job to stop it. So he gets to work, trying all sorts of things to stop his mortal enemy. The bubbles. In the first year, he tried insisting that only the youngest grapes be picked.
Perhaps this will stop your bubbles.
And it didn't. The next year, he changed up how the grapes were pressed.
Push harder, we'll squeeze out the bubbles.
Son of a bitch. He tried picking the grapes very early in the morning and no other time. Oh, and on and on. The bubbles would win the battle every year. For 8 long years, he tried all sorts of different things. And no strategy worked. No, the bubbles. Eventually, he was at the point of almost giving up. Until one day, hey, what if the wine is still fermenting? So he takes a couple of the bottles, and he opens them. It is. We ferment the wine. Once it's done, it goes into the bottle. How does it then start fermenting again? How is that possible? And here, the mystery was solved. So it turns out, in North France, they have very fast-changing seasons. And owing to that, the yeast doesn't actually get time to do its job. Instead, it gets cold very quickly in the winter, and all the yeast would go dormant. Then the winemakers would go, oh well, fermentation slowed down, it must be done. They would then bottle it, and they would store it. But once summer came back around, the process would spring back to life, and carbon dioxide would build up, and... oh, he thinks, I cannot change the climate. Perhaps I shall not win the war against the bubbles. Now, the bubbles are his enemy, and he has another enemy. The English. Therefore, the enemy of his enemy or something. Anyway, he starts talking to the English, and he goes, "Hey, how do you guys stop your bottles from exploding?" And the British go,
You what, Mac? Oh, well, peep at how thin the bloody glass be in it. Thin glass is the problem. Thank you for using this text-to-speech preview. For a paid version, please go...
See, the English have created new coal-fired bottles with much thicker glass. Then they put a cork in the top, and it allows them to make very foamy beer. That's right, he could just use thicker bottles, and he won't have to worry about stopping the bubbles at all. So Dom goes running back to fight. He's panting, he's sweating, and there's bits of brie on his shirt. He's going, better bottles, better bottles. Everyone's confused and terrified, but they do the job. And there. The people of France loved it.
I love this new style.
Even the French royals were enjoying new wine, tea, and he even started adding extra yeast and sugar to really get the bubbles going. And so Dom Perignon had created what we call today champagne. Now, there's a 19th century marketing campaign that says the moment he uncorked his champagne for the first time, he tried it and said, come quickly, I am tasting the sky. But that's actually a myth. He never really said that. But there's still a problem. And this one, Dom cannot do. The pulp. If you bottle wine while it's still fermented, so that you can keep the bubbles in, you're also trapping in a bunch of dead yeast and debris and gross particles too. Also controlled balance. No, we want it clear. We want it crystal look. How will we ever solve this problem? Dom dies. 1805. In walks Madame Cleek. She's just a man for
I have come to remove all these little bits. I will clench my teeth together and go back into them.
Now, Madame Cleek was a very shrewd lady. Her husband died when she was in her early 20s.
My husband is dead. Love.
And part of the estate she was bequeathed included a winery.
There's a team on us.
Making it into a successful business.
We shall invent a process called a riddling.
It was you put these bottles on a rack at a 35-degree angle with top facing down. Every 2 days, you would give the bottle a little shake and slightly increase the angle. After 8 degrees, all of the sediment would come to rest beneath the neck of the bottle. Like quicksand. Did you know that when you increase the salt concentration in water, you can drop its temperature down much lower without it freezing? Tangent over. So he takes this sub-zero salt water and dips the neck of the bottle in there, then lets it sit until the neck freezes. Now you have a sort of frozen cork filled with all of the gross pulp, and then you simply pop off the top. And the whole thing goes shooting out as a fun prank for your friends and family. Then they add in a little more extra base wine and sugar, and leave it to age. And with that, Clicquot has just created a clear, sparkling wine. And that is risen. And Madame Clicquot is risen. So Dom Perignon and Madame Clicquot are both credited as the godfather and godmother of champagne. Today the Dom and Clicquot brands are owned by LVMH, the same parent company that owns Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Tiffany & Co, Genesis. Actually, pretty much every luxury brand. But why is it called champagne? Well, that's because it comes from the Champagne region, you dummy. And anything else with bubbles is just sparkling water. Oh, it's you. I was just looking out over the sunset. You know how it is. Thinking about stuff that happened in the past. I remember it all too well. It was literally 1984. I was walking home with my parents from the army. Hey, let's take a little shortcut, they said. We were walking down a well and there was nothing but quaint restaurants and bistros. Then suddenly, a man holding a bottle of Shiraz came out of nowhere. Just a tipple, he said. I was terrified. I knew nothing about wine. Go on, he said. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms heavy. Complex aroma, wouldn't you say? Very good tannins? Oh, really? Yep. What's a tannin? I don't know. My parents died from embarrassment right there on the spot.
Sorry, Dad.
Just a tipple. It's too late for me, but I don't want the same thing to happen to you. That's why we have to learn about how to serve wine. So you bought a bottle of wine to show your friends and family how successful and sophisticated you are. Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa? So let's go through how to serve the big three. White, red, and champagne. Let's say you bought champagne. That bottle goes in the thing. Champagne is served cold always. To open, peel off the foil and do not aim it at your face. Then twist off the metal thing. If you want people to think you're fancy, use the proper word, muselette.
Muesli.
It helps to protect the pressure. Again, don't aim this thing at your face. It's really worth repeating. The PSI inside a champagne bottle is 70 to 90. That puts it in the same league as a nail gun. So the cork comes out at about 50 miles an hour. And if you're in a house, you want to hold onto it very firmly with your hand. If you're Bezos, or you just won the Grand Prix, fling it over some lady. But if you want to be really fancy, you can use a sword. This has been a tradition for a couple hundred years, popularized by Napoleon. After each victory, the army would use their sabers to crack one open for the boys. But the sword's just ceremony. You can use pretty much any blood object on the top. Like, this fish head. If it's cold, it shouldn't fill over too much, but you might want to have someone on the side with a ready glass. The glass type should either be a tulip or a flute. Although, if you've seen The Great Gatsby, you may notice that they use these. Up until the mid-1900s, people used coupes. That's because, back in the day, excessive effervescence wasn't very cool. So these cups help actually dispel the bubbles faster. In fact, sometimes they'd even use a small whisk or a fork to dissipate all the bubbles. Now, there's actually an old myth that the shape and size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's bubo. But it's probably not true. Eventually, bubbles became a fancy feature, so the flute was adopted. They can be made from glass, but preferably they're made from crystal, so that they shimmer as much as possible. And the best flutes could also feature a small rust spot right there at the center of the glass at the bottom to create a sort of tornado of bubbles. Anyway, as you pour, tilt sideways so it isn't all head, and don't pour more than 2/3 full. Done. White wine. White wine is best served chilled too. 10 to 15 degrees though, not fridge cold. Use a small glass bowl and pour to about half full. And when you drink, do a little sniff test and, aerate it a bit. Then hold it down low on the stem so your hands don't heat up the liquid. If it's not to your taste, cut it with 50% Sprite and add a few ice cubes. Done. Reds. Red wine is not chilled. It is served at room temperature. When you first open it, you're supposed to let it sit for a while to oxidize. That gives it more flavor. Although, if you don't want to wait, you can just pour it into a decanter. That does the same thing. To drink from, we want a good bowl concept, so you get a full face of the aromas of the grape blood. When you pour the thing, fill it about 1/3 full. That's pretty much it. However, when it comes to wine snobbery, red wine snobbery is at the top of the Maslow hierarchy. Fresh white wine, Corey. Oh my god, shut up. And there's a taste testing thing that people do, and it'll go a bit mental, and it's kind of gross, and it looks dumb. But if you think you're ready for the ultimate test, ready to take the one-shot challenge from enology. In here's how you do it. When the waiter comes over, insist on taking a teensy sample. Inspect for color, clarity, and legs. Legs refers to how viscous the wine is. Smell it. Smells like a red wine. Swirl it around on the table, making a loud scratching noise, so that everyone knows you're a connoisseur.
Swirling the wine glass is almost like turning up the volume on the stereo.
When you taste it, you're supposed to get it over every part of your mouth, so that when you brush your teeth later. Then take in big sips of air. This is where you comment on the texture and taste. Complex, no! You yell across the room. Now this is the best part. You can just make shit up about vanilla smackaroons or citrusy undercurrents. I swear, there's a hint of blueberry. It's one of those things that's kinda true, but subjective enough that no one can really refute you. So make a big show.
There is a little bit of an earthiness with some graphite clay note to this.
It's a little bit meaty. It's a little bit sort of rustic.
There are definitely hints here of Monster Ultra sugar-free. If this is a taste test, and you're sampling dozens of wines, you want to spit out the sample into this gross bucket so you don't get too drunk. Do not ask the waiter if you can drink from the bucket. It's the waiter's privilege, and he's very protective of it. And that is how to serve wine. Okay, that's a lot of shitting on wine. And we shouldn't get bullied. But let me do a quick one. Because overall, wine is good. And a little wine snobbery can be good also. Being into wine is one of the great dad hobbies. One day you will have a model frame set in your basement, complete with a little walking path and the grass just right. The best part about this hobby is building the thing, getting it just perfect, and then making people sit there while you explain the little frames in excruciating detail of how they work. Now, fun of Warhammer, that's when you save up for the little Space Marine man, you take him out of the packet, you put on a podcast with some Warhammer in the background.
Horus is the best kisser.
And you slowly paint it yourself. And then you argue with your mates later about why the Necrophiles are the best race. There are people that spend like tens of thousands of dollars on coffee machines and equipment. And then it takes like an hour to make a coffee. It's like only 5% better, maybe, than the ones you get at the cafe. Now I could be Mr. Killjoy and come in and go, what's the point of that? Why not just buy it from the cafe? Why not just get a pre-painted Space Marine? Why not have someone else just install the train set? But then there's no ceremony, there's no fun, there's no hobby. Wine is very simple. They're getting a little bit too obsessive about the thing. And being like...
Some lemon zest as well, lemon pip. Super tangy.
Is the purpose of wine. It's the fun of wine. Which is why wine is better than just some old riches. And you fucking wine loser snobs, do what? And that's about it. There's just one last thing left. The practical. Come on, my little nouveau biche. I booked out a whole restaurant. They serve some of the best blue whale caviar. Alright, you did it. You sat through the whole video without crying. I think this calls for a toast. Let it now. Uh-oh. I can't believe you killed the kid. But it's okay. I feel like we're becoming close friends who can keep secrets and stuff. And because we're such close friends, I'm gonna keep teaching you things. That's right. You're gonna be just like me. I just cannot tell which of this is blood and which wine. By the way, this is the second video. If you haven't seen the first one, which is on Fancy at the Theatre, go look at over here. But there's also Fancy the Arts on Incognito. That's already live, and there's the next Incognito on its way. Do not forget story mode. Do not forget Incogni. And do not forget to dream.
Yeah, that's great, but sorry, I gotta go. I gotta get some work done. Ever since that first demo back in the 1960s, people have been looking for ways to improve the mouse. And while some of these innovations have become standards, like scroll wheels, additional buttons, or optical sensors, others have been trying to solve problems that didn't really exist. This mouse phone, for example, which, yes, is exactly what we're looking at here, is one such example. But believe it or not, it is far from the weirdest thing we've been to.
That is the Sony VaioMouse Talk from 2006. It's a combination of optical mouse and voice phone.
Ah, yes. Internet telephone. Because OG Skype got popular around 2005 as broadband internet costs came down, making it a much more affordable way to talk to friends and family overseas. And this is full of cool features. It's got scroll wheel volume control. It even works as a speakerphone. Maybe I can use it to tell people about our sponsor. MSI. Their GeForce RTX 4070 Gaming X Slim 12GB graphics card is thinner than other graphics cards. But if you think that makes it less hardcore, why don't you challenge it to an arm wrestle and see how that goes, tough guy? Check it out at the link below. That was fun. What's next?
Not yet. You've got to complete your challenge first.
A challenge?
Using only that mouse, record and play back a message for us.
Okay. Well, I mean, Audacity is right here on the desktop. It's going to be that hard. USB audio device. Come on. Stop button. Of course it wasn't going to be that easy. You know, I haven't used Windows 98 in a while. Oh, 2000. Sorry, excuse me. Maybe there's a mode switch. Oh, there's a button. Oh, balls. It only works in one mode at a time.
That's right.
I can't use it as a mouse like this. And also, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Look at this thing. It's obviously designed for use with a laptop where you would also have a trackpad. But still, do we just need some gain? Just need them gains? Hello? Hello? No? Stereo? Maybe it's a different one? Hey, hello? Hello? I thought you said it works as a speakerphone, too.
If you open it halfway, then it's speakerphone mode.
Oh my. Am I drunk?
Volume at the bottom.
Yeah.
Top option.
Volume control.
Options. Properties. Recording. Okay. Look at that level.
Well, why? But I wasn't getting anything.
Are you for real right now? Oh, this is going to sound awful. I'm so sorry, everyone's ears. I guess I could talk a little quieter. Yeah, that's not much better.
Maybe turn your volume down a little bit.
Oh, wow. This is at minimum, though.
What happens when we crank it up even higher?
Wait. I can play back on this?
I didn't say it was a good speakerphone. Oh yeah, crank it up, that'll help.
I'm gonna say $60.
You are dead on the money.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
That would be $91 in today's money. What do you think they actually paid for?
Oh, I hope it's not more than $50.
$69.
Okay, nice. Oh, discover the easy-to-use mouse that gives children ages 2 to 6 a minute head start with computers. Look at this kid. This is a Microsoft product.
This is a Microsoft product.
The Easy Ball includes Freddy Fish and the case of the missing kelp seeds.
Gotta get that kelp, man.
This does not look easier. Wow, this packaging is in great shape. Oh, no way. Who would have a complete in box this big? Setup disc? Wow. Humongous entertainment. I have the following CD-ROM titles. Check all that apply. I have Putt Putt Saves the Zoo. No way, are we going to play Freddy Fish?
We can play Freddy Fish.
Oh, of course, the real star of the show is this mouse for ballers. Mac versus PC ad campaign. This box contains the biggest zing that I have ever seen. Single button design adds to the ease of use. There's no confusion about which button to press. Oh, checkmate!
Now remember, this is a serial mouse, so you're gonna have to turn off the computer and plug it in.
Yeah, every once in a while, we work hot dog. Super shot. And that's obligatory.
What do you think?
The ball mount, but bigger.
What do you think you'd pay for that?
Oh no. Anything for kids is going to come with a bit of a premium. There was obviously some molding costs, and they couldn't have sold that many of this thing.
This actually won some awards. It won a CES Best of Show, and it was just put in the Smithsonian for an input device exhibition.
I don't think that makes it worth more money. I'm going to say $99.99.
Well, you're actually high.
60 bucks.
$55 US.
Really? That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yep, it'd be about 105 today. Since you got Freddy Fisher Diablo.
Truthfully, if all I had to do was line up a cursor for interactive storybook games and stuff like that,
it gets done.
This is kind of awesome. I'm not sure I fully understand the ergonomics of these handles, but then, okay, I started trying to use them, and it's like, oh yeah, that holds it steady.
You're sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce kind of style, maybe?
God, I kind of like it. Let's go with Diablo. Hey, these loading times, though, I don't think my computer was that fast when I first played Diablo.
Magic of SSD.
Oh, is this an SSD? Yeah. That explains a lot. It's too big. Actually, impractically large, yeah. It's not bad, though. Oh, yeah, if you kill anything else, it's falling on his legs. Okay, anyway. Now we're back in time to Windows 98. You put the posting first. Ooh, Mouse Pen Pro! A point. Natural pen-shaped design, great for artists and children, perfect for high dexterity applications. Saying that you need high dexterity to use your input device,
had an opportunity to impress me.
It's honest.
What a waste.
Oh no. Like a ballpoint pen, the mouse pen works great on an ordinary pad of paper.
Brooks phone over
No
there.
mouse pad required. And you can even put your feet up and use the mouse pen on your pant leg for the cover of your favorite magazine. Wow, magazines.
Remember magazines?
Barely, actually. Guide to operations. It's not what they use this for. Oh, she works, but hold on a second. I don't think we're using this right, because rather than clearing a space on top of your desk to use the mouse pen, you can use it on top of your stuff. Go. You can just be a slob. Thanks. It's terrible.
Look at this. The switch is the DPI thing.
Oh, that's a little faster.
It's still terrible, but
she loses traction sometimes. Though in fairness, I do wonder if part of this is just due to the plastic.
it might be. We found there's a mouse pad on the phone if you want to grab that.
Maybe she was a little grippier back in the day.
Look at Ken's mouse pad.
PT Cruiser mouse pad. Wow.
I tried to press a little harder than you would with the Wacom pad. Still pretty crap.
They advocate hard for the plant. Why don't we try that and I'll show off these prototype LTT plants? Awful.
What do you think people paid for that back in the day?
There's no ways cheap. Super specialized hardware, limited lifetime warranty, patented design.
That was $99 from 1991.
And you get 2 whole button clicks. Not to mention that if your software requires you to press both buttons at the same time, you can do that by simply adjusting the
Pull 'em back.
of your knuckle. That's it. If you look, yeah, free tech tip.
Wow. You ready for your challenge?
Oh no.
Alright, open up the phone text here because there's you need to draw the rest of the owl.
No! Are you kidding me? Is this serious? Is this a meme?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't draw it. That's oh man, it doesn't have good traction on anything.
No.
Maybe the backside is. Hey,
Yeah, I know that.
oh, that's quite similar. It's got an egg. Ooh, diagonals. Not good.
One more coming inside.
Yeah. I thought it was me at first, but I actually don't think it is.
It's a good thing we have an art department.
Cool, you guys get me.
On top of me.
Oh no, what happened there?
Oh my god, I can't believe one got off here.
Oh, wait, I angled
He's
it.
on me.
Natural writing. I stopped pressing.
He's not hurt at all, so I would get yourself out and heal up.
Oh yeah, shoot, sorry. I think that is actually recognizable as an L.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself a B.
B minus.
B as in, be confident.
This was not actually a mouse, or so they claim.
Neither was the last one. Felix outruns a mouse. What? Like the actual game win. PC manufacturers could be ringing in the new year with some fresh optimism if this report reputation with gamers. Or perhaps more games should take like 10 years to launch a sequel, like GTA 5, which will soon debut its sequel's official trailer, also on December 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Merry Christmas. Everyone is assuming.
Okay. Do you have inside information that I don't use my camera for fun? For fun? It'd probably be... It's a fun question. The camera I use for fun would be every single person who makes video production, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, traditional video production, they all own a camera. A few months ago, I went to a process and a bunch of other is the camera all these professionals use for their work the same camera as they use for fun? So today we're going to ask 13 other creators what camera they use for fun, and make sure you stay till the end because we're going to score which brand or format of camera wins out amongst all of these creators, myself included. My Hopsquad 500 CM is probably my favorite camera of all time. It's the most unique shooting experience. I really like shooting with old film cameras, like a rangefinder, stuff like that. I'm a full-time photographer, and I like cameras that make me think a little bit more for fun, just because it feels less like work and more like a different experience, like a hobby almost for me. I separate them between video and photo. For video, that would be the ZV-E1, but if I had the opportunity to get the Fuji X100V, I'd totally get that for photo.
So I actually have the Sony FX30, and the reason why is because it's super small and compact. It doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself, but has a lot of quality. It has a downsampled 6K. You still get some slow motion features, but like I still feel like I get things out of a cinema camera, but I don't have to deal with like the cinema camera attention, if that makes any sense. So if I want to import LUTs or I want to export in RAW, I can. But if I want to just get a couple of clips with a single lens and an ND filter, I can go and do that with a decent microphone, and it still looks really good.
So I don't shoot a lot outside of the YouTube channel in production, but when I do, it's the A7 IV because it's just the perfect hybrid for me. So I like a normal grip, I like a good EVF, I like a joystick, and that thing with that little switch to go back and forth between video and photo is perfect. So I can take a camera out of the studio, I have two A7 IVs, and then rip around with that and a 28-75 camera mix. Because it's cheap, and if it gets destroyed, that's okay, and it's good enough. So that's kind of the setup I run. That's a fun question, you might ask, and I might happen to have it on me. It's a film camera. It's this Olympus XA2. Got it from my uncle who bought it brand new in 1980. And it's fun to just take the edge off and take the workload off and just shoot film and fun. So it's either this or my Yashica T2, which is another film camera. I like shooting film. What kind of film do you shoot? Yes. What's in there right now? That's a good question. This is an old rule. I'm gonna say my favorite's gonna be either Portra 800 or Gold 200. Or anything expired that looks terrible. For stills, the Fujifilm X100V, it kind of inspires me to pick it up and just shoot stuff, and I see the world differently. For video, I want to say the Komodo X, and it's not fun to use, but it makes you want to use it. So, I think that counts. Yeah. For fun, what if it's got a one? Okay, the funnest camera that I've recently been using is actually a $40 kids camera that I bought for my 4-year-old daughter. It's bright pink. It has photo mode, video mode. It says it's 16 megapixel. It is not. But it is. And it came with an SD card, micro SD card, and it holds like 9,000 images. So I haven't even found a photographer. It's been like months now that I've had it. But it takes photos, it takes videos, and my daughter has to bring it everywhere. And it's so good. Easily the funnest thing funnest camera I bought in quite a while. What is it called?
It has one of those product names Steve on Amazon, so you never know what it's actually. I don't know.
It's the most unique console ever made. Good. The camera that I wish I could bring myself to purchase would be a Leica Q. There's something about the fixed lens, like stripping everything away from it and just having a camera to go out small and just have fun and create with without the pressure of work. To me, that just would be amazing. I'm probably going to end up picking it up, but yeah, that's definitely the camera that to me would be the most fun.
I use a point and shoot film camera, the Canon 35M. I love it. I love Portra, I love Fujifilm. Cine Still has some good ones too.
If you were to choose a digital camera, that's fine.
Digital camera? Probably just my same camera, my same setup. I like to stay the same.
What you said?
5D Mark IV. So I have a lot of fun because I know how to use it in and out. I'm very comfortable with it. So you can't go wrong with something that you're used to.
Do you have inside information that I don't use my cameras for fun? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so my problem is a weird problem. When I pick up a camera now, I can only use it for like testing. I can only test the camera. So I would want something that is uncomfortable, or like not like I'm not used to unfamiliar, right? So that and also different than the cameras that have been reviewing, so that it doesn't, my brain doesn't automatically default to like, oh, this knob feels weird, you know. So I've never really played much with like Leicas, you know, and I feel like they're a big enough departure, and I don't feel like I would go at them being like, thank you 4K 60 with a crop. Like, yeah, I don't think that would be where my brain would go. So maybe that's the camera. I feel like a snob. Am I being a snob? Like, it has to be a Leica. You want me to have fun? It's gotta be a Leica. But no, I think that would be something that would maybe just get my brain out of the box. I guess there's a couple other ones like that too, right? There's a Fuji. People are in love with what is it, that X100V or something like that. I think that's maybe like the more economic version of that paradigm.
Which one? Which one?
Well, I would do the Leica because what's the latest one? Is it a Q2 or something? Q3. There's a 3. Okay. Then I told them I'm not touching with Leicas.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with that. We'll check out. It doesn't. I guess it wouldn't matter if it was a 2 or 3, would it? For the get out of my box, right? Or the Hasselblad is also another camera that like does not.
You just get hit.
The same, but I'm trying to be honest with you. I don't like holding it, and I feel like you got. I'm not saying it's a bad camera. I'm saying I don't like holding it, and I think that's got to be a big part of it if you want to have fun, right? Get a camera that you enjoy. So
Retreat.
Why are you asking me?
Ooh, the camera I use for fun would be a Fuji X100 OG. It's the original. Has vibes. The lens is not sharp. It has terrible autofocus. The menu is terrible. But whatever magic they have in that sensor, it's only 12 megapixels. It's fun.
One's on us.
It's not a camera I'm going to pick up to do work with, but it's definitely a camera I pick up to have fun.
The ZV-1 Mark II, and because it is just one of those cameras that is so small, so portable, and it also has built-in ND filter, and I can just take it anywhere and not have to worry about it. I can put it in my pocket.
It'd probably be the iPhone. It's a little cliche, but it's always on me. Takes great pictures, good video, and it's just fast, efficient to share with friends, socials. I like it. Have you ever wondered what inside? Because the robots at D-Brand have it covered. For people like you, D-Brand went to a proper laboratory.
Where did you go? You left me? Dude, are you dumb?
In my right hand,
You left me?
my X-Lite Pro wearing the Lightning X-Ray skin. In my left hand, I hold my iPhone 15 Pro wearing the Dark Mode X-Ray skin. Isn't it tough to choose? D-Brand has your back. When you buy one, you get both. You never have to worry again about not loving your devices from the inside out. Thank you to D-Brand for making this video possible. Check out this limited edition draft at the link in...
This
Cybertruck was announced 4 years ago. I've gotten married and had 2 kids since then, but today we get the final specs of what the Cybertruck is at launch. Let's get started. For the past 4 years, Tesla has been hyping up this Cybertruck like it's the dawn of a new age, saying things like it can float on water or has a pneumatic suspension to tap into for air tools, transparent metal on the windows, costs $39,000, or has a 500-mile range, not to mention the Cyberquad and the extendable tailgate ramp. But it turns out all of those things are just hype, and what we got delivered at the launch event is actually an incredibly reasonable machine, very comparable to the other electric trucks that have been on the market for years. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. The Cybertruck is still an extremely impressive vehicle. But falling from that pinnacle of hypothetical hype before the event to the reality of what was actually delivered at the event, it was just an extremely tall precipice from which we all had to plummet. So let's look through the hoopla for a minute and forget what we've been told and have a realistic conversation. The Cybertruck, as it stands right now, does have some major advantages over the competition, and as a truck owner and a Rivian owner, I am jealous about a few things. I'll start with thing number 1 that I'm jealous of, and that's the stainless steel body. I think the biggest flaw in my Rivian is actually this rear quarter panel. Yeah, the seamless design looks cool, extending up from the back edge of the bed up over the top of the cab, but if this aluminum panel on my Rivian gets dinged and needs to be replaced, it can cost tens of thousands of dollars, since the whole truck and top glass need to be taken apart just to replace the panel. Not cool. With the Cybertruck, however, it is far more durable with basically the invincible body of a tank. For example, I'm here with my friends over at Oshkosh. They use a lot of nitrogen for laser cutting, and they have liquid nitrogen that we can play around with to see what happens to steel and stainless steel at extremely cold temperatures.
Metals have different properties. The stamped steel in regular vehicles is less expensive, but corrodes or rusts very easily. And when subject to the extreme temperatures of negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit, like liquid nitrogen, or what we would see on Mars or the voids of outer space, steel shatters like glass.
Enough lambing around, we're dropping.
Shattered like glass. No way. Oh, that is cool. Look at that. I had no idea steel was that fragile. That is nuts. Alright, let's try stainless.
Stainless steel, however, is incredibly corrosion resistant, does not rust, and does not need to be painted. And it can apparently withstand the inhospitable voids of outer space just fine.
Once the smoke stops coming out, we know the metal's to temperature. The smoke is slowed down. This one is stainless steel.
First blood has been taken. We have 45 seconds to cross a great distance.
It's crazy. The stainless steel is bent and intact and has not shattered like glass. That's incredible. This is a 304 stainless steel, very similar to the alloy used on the Starship rocket and the Cybertruck. Still intact.
At first I thought the Cybertruck would be super heavy, contributing to the less than advertised range at the launch event, you know, because of the bulletproof armor. But it turns out the Cybertruck, while being bigger than my Rivian, is lighter than my Rivian. The Cybertruck is 6,843 pounds, while the Rivian is 7,148. And I think that has to do mostly with the battery construction. See, the Cybertruck is using this, a 4680 cell manufactured by Tesla directly. There are 1,366 of these inside of a Cybertruck, giving it 123 kilowatt hours worth. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey Jerry, is there a brand new Cybertruck out there right now missing a battery? Rivian, on the other hand, uses a much smaller cell. It's called a 21700, and there's 7,777 of these. So that's like 7 times as many cells as the Cybertruck. Rivian has more metal casings, more soldering, more metal bus bars, and more potential points of failure, and more importantly, more weight. And I think it's the batteries that make my Rivian weigh more than an armored Cybertruck. Tesla owning their whole supply chain make me think that the current higher than expected Cybertruck pricing is temporary. And once they ramp up and get caught up with all the pre-orders, we'll see some drastic price cuts like they've done in all their other vehicles. But that's probably like 3 years from now, so feel free to at me in 2027. But let's get back to the stainless steel, since it is scientifically legitimate and the additional armored weight is obviously not an issue. The shape of the Cybertruck, however, is an issue, not from an aesthetic polygon point of view, but from a utility perspective. The slope sides of the beds can't hold a toolbox or side boxes, and more importantly, the reason Tesla used an excavator to show off the 2,500-pound bed capacity in their promo video is because a Bobcat skid steer tractor, which is far more common on farms or landscaping companies, can't properly load the bed over diagonally slanted sides. Tractors will have to lift higher and drop loads farther if someone decides to use their Cybertruck like an actual truck. Also, from a utility perspective, Rivian has a dedicated storage spot for the spare tire in the bed of the truck. The Ford Lightning also has an included spare underneath the truck, but with the Tesla Cybertruck, if you want a spare, you lose the entire bed, and you gotta ratchet strap that thing down. It's not convenient, and you lose all the space that makes a truck a truck. Also, I gotta get this off my chest. Elon said this about the glass.
You don't have to worry about like rocks hitting the glass and cracking the glass. This glass is basically rock-proof.
Smartphone manufacturers have been telling us forever that their glass is the most durable, the most shatter-resistant, the most shock-proof glass ever made, but it's all lies. Glass is glass, and glass breaks every time. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. Another thing I'm jealous of the Cybertruck is the 9.6 kilowatt-hour 240-volt plug in the back of the bed. That would have been extremely helpful while welding my bunker, powering an RV, or charging up electric sports vehicles like the Taiga Orca or the electric snowmobile, both of which I've made videos about if you're curious. I plan on getting one of the electric snowmobiles myself, and using my truck as a charging station would be really appealing. My Rivian has 420-volt outlets, I think, which isn't very helpful with the big boy toys or big boy tools, but it does have an air compressor. The Cybertruck has 4 or 5 outlets with that 240-volt plug in the back. The Ford Lightning, however, has 11 outlets with that same 9.6 kilowatt-hours of power, and a 240-volt plug as well. And both the Cybertruck and the Lightning can act as whole home backups, which is also extremely appealing. My Rivian can definitely not, so I am jealous of those features. Another bonus with the Cybertruck, if it's not a lie, is the battery range extender, which Rivian also has a patent for but is not yet selling. And I think unless Tesla has a product on the shelf, we just gotta pretend like it doesn't exist. Don't get me wrong, Tesla has accomplished more than any auto manufacturer ever, but they are also an unrestrained hype machine. The 3 main players right now, Rivian, the Cybertruck, and the Ford Lightning, are all within spitting distance of each other, and all 3 trucks are miles ahead of their gas-powered counterparts, unless you're a long-haul trucker, which is a completely different ballgame. The last question I have is, what in the world is this random box on the back of the Cybertruck? This thing has got the curved departure angle while off-roading, and my Rivian actively tries to eliminate that curve near the end of the bed, while Tesla added to it. So if anyone knows, tell me down in the comments. I think if Tesla released the Cybertruck at their original $39,000 price point, it would be the only vehicle on the road, but that's not what we got. And it's definitely not the truck to end all trucks that Tesla was hyping it to be. Maybe gas-powered trucks. It's definitely infinitely better than all of those. But the Cybertruck appears to be on par with all the other electric trucks on the road right now, in my opinion. Of course, I have not driven, sat in, or even tested a production off-road version of the Cybertruck yet. I am, however, very curious about the steer-by-wire, where instead of a steering wheel being directly connected to the front wheels, we have dual redundant electrically controlled steering motors. I'm also curious about the 4-wheel steering and the towing range with these higher capacity cells that can output more energy for longer, which might change my opinion in the future. And of course, if Elon wants to show off the Cybertruck's waterboarding capabilities, my schedule is incredibly free for that. At $80,000, the EV truck space is still anyone's game. I do have one on pre-order, and I'll probably still go through with that. I'll use it as a work truck for my wheelchair manufacturing business. With sides that flat, if nothing else, it'll make for an excellent billboard. If you want to see the Cybertruck durability tested in real life, hit that subscribe button. And thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.
Here are the 5 things that you need to know when it comes to setting up MIG welding. I'm here with my buddy Jeff with MechMaster. Hey, thanks for having us, Jeff. We're in Jeff's space here. This is his garage. He's got this very nice setup to teach all about welding. And today we're going to jump right into the first thing you need to know with MIG welding.
The first thing that you're going to need for MIG welding is obviously the correct wire. Can't go with the shiny looking stuff flux core wire. This one kind of will work, but it'd be a waste because this stuff's a lot more expensive. So get the cheap stuff that's actually made for MIG welding.
So this is solid. No flux core, nothing in the middle. Solid wire.
Solid wire. Diving into the actual wire itself, just like with other stuff, you got different sizes. You can go thinner if you're going to be sticking with kind of the advantage of MIG welding, doing thinner material. So they have, 0.023 is a common size for the lower end. This is 0.03. I actually like that the best. Well, that was actually the smaller one, yeah. And then 0.035 is kind of a bigger end wire that they sell as well.
So does that correlate with the material thickness or not really?
Yeah, it does, but there's a lot of overlap. And that's why typically I'll go with an 03. Yep. And with different wire, your machine will come up with different tips, contacts tips. There's a little engraving of the size itself. Just match that with your wire, you're good.
One thing we ought to cover for noobs like myself, I'm guessing the IG stands for inert gas.
Oh yeah, you actually made
what MIG stands for.
Yeah, metal inert gas. Yep, sorry.
And the concept is, unlike with flux core, where the flux in the middle is doing the, I don't know if shielding is the right word,
No,
but
that's exactly right.
then with this, we actually have gas hooked up, and it's, which I'm guessing we're going to get into, but that's actually creating a little shield around this, right, around the wire?
Yep.
Okay.
To go along with the size of wire, you need to make sure your roller, this is what's actually driving the wire through, is the correct size. But more importantly, lots of machines coming out come with multiple different types of wheels or rollers. Now, we'll try to zoom in on here, but you may or may not be able to see. This is what's called a knurled wheel. So it has a bunch of little teeth through. That is for flux core.
Oh, okay.
And that's because flux core, it is, in a sense, a hollow wire, and the flux is in it. And so those teeth kind of grab onto that wire and pull it through. Solid core, you use a V groove. That's what's already in there, so you don't need the teeth. Just use that roller, you're
So
set.
You're seeing on your wheel that you do have the knurled grooves in here, then you want to make sure that you swap that out when you're doing MIG for the V groove one. Okay, good to know.
Next thing, first setup would be your polarity. Now, I don't want to dive too much in here because polarity can be very confusing on what the heck that even is for the machine. Flux core uses what would be called a DCEN, a direct current electrode negative.
I was totally going to say that, yeah.
You probably had it right on the tip of your tongue. So that would mean that your MIG gun, your torch, this guy is actually going to be hooked up to the negative terminal. Or since we have DC output, direct current, what's Tesla, thank you.
Who's the father of DC?
DC was, I know. Yeah, there was a whole video, a whole movie about it. It was Edison, but he wasn't the father of it. He was. What do you care about Edison? He was a great businessman.
Right. DC
type welding, so direct current. So you will have the ability to change what is negative and what's positive, either your earth or ground clamp or the MIG torch. So flux core, DCEN, that MIG torch is hooked up to the negative terminal. MIG, DCEP, electropositive. You just flip it. It makes a huge difference. It's really crazy. You wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference in the weld. There were numerous times where I was previously flux core welding. I just switched out the wire. I'm going along and I'm like, this is horrible. Like, am I missing my gas? What's going on? Oh, it's the polarity. Switch it over. You got great welds.
And that's typically, if I'm not mistaken, on the back or on the inside, right, of the welder is where you switch that, or is that something else?
It is for this machine.
Okay.
Yeah, this machine has a little lug that you just flip it over. Some machines have.
I think we're going into a fight if we do that.
Every machine would be set up a little differently.
You gotta check that on your specific machine. And just for a little background here, this is the machine that I brought over here to Jeff's because this is something that I got on Kickstarter. It's a 5-in-1, and I was like, all right, I don't know any of these. I barely know flux core at all, but I'll use this so I can learn more. I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest not going in there.
It'll allow me to kind of get my feet wet on each type of welding.
Yep. It's perfect. Yes, Welder is newer in the game, but they're actually kind of making a little name for themselves on great intro type welders. Now, as mentioned before, metal inert gas. What the heck is that all about? Let's grab this little cute guy right here.
baby bottle.
Yeah, so the two main ones you'll only care about right now are 100% CO2 or a mixed gas. Of course, there's a whole bunch of variations. You don't need to get bogged down in that. Some guys will say, 70, 80, or 70, 30.
We need to go out. We can't go to that.
Don't bog yourself down. Just know you need to add a MIG welding type gas, pick up a steel bottle, P25, or an aluminum bottle of 100% CO2.
Alright, so the aluminum gas or aluminum tank with CO2 versus one of these other tanks, for example, what do any of these cost? Yeah, tell me all about that.
Yeah, as you can imagine, there's a huge price range from that small little guy, probably 100, 150 bucks, all the way up. This one right here is a 125. That's going to run 300, 400 bucks. Obviously, depending on where you are, steel prices. But the great thing is, once you make that initial investment of the bottle, you can just go and exchange it for just the gas. So you take in your empty bottle, say, hey, like to exchange it. All you're paying for is the gas, which, just like the propane. Important part, MIG welding, 100% CO2 or a C25 mix.
Okay, meaning 25% CO2, 75% argon. Okay.
Your inert gases from chemistry days.
I totally don't remember any of that, but I did take chemistry.
Yeah. The last really thing is pretty simple. We'll get into the actual setup of the wire and the setup of the gas in a second, hooking it up. But if you've flux core welded or seen any of my videos or Neil's last one on flux core welding, what did I tell you to do about this nozzle? Toss it. Don't do that. Because we are MIG welding now. So before I told you, yeah, use one of these flux core caps, nozzle, and you're golden. But we now have gas going through this line and coming out through these holes right here. So we need that gas coverage. This is a MIG nozzle.
Okay.
It's exactly what it says. It's a nozzle. It directs your gas over the weld, protects it, and kind of a must-have when you're MIG welding.
So we've got our safety gear out. Let's go ahead and get the welder set up so that we can try some MIG welding. I've literally never MIG welded in my life. Shall we go for it?
Sweet, let's test it. For that setup process, hooking up the line from the gas tank to the welder is pretty simple. They all come with hoses like that. You will need a gas regulator. Just search online or go to a welding supply shop. Any regulator that is capable of doing CO2 or argon mixed will work just fine. Simply hook that up, and you'll want to adjust the flow rate to about 15 to 20 CF.
Could we end a few careers today? I dare say we might.
Excellent. Time to destroy more opponents.
If you're with me, I'm with you.
This is your champion.
In case you didn't know, you get here by winning. Good luck.
I'm the jump master. Follow me.
Let's land here. This might be a good place to land.
There's a prime. Yep.
This might be a good place to land.
Heading this way.
Copy that.
Reckon we crash land this puppy there.
I'll join this adventure. Yeehaw!
Get ready. Moving out.
Enemy spotted.
What do you say we move here?
Near me. Do you think they want to be my friend? First blood on the enemy.
Respawn beacon over there.
I am taking fire, friend. Hostile close. Giving my shields a recharge. Let's hop in this gravity cannon.
Cano.
Light amp. Let's go this way.
Attention.
I
There is
need
a
heavy
new
ammo.
kill leader.
Got us a new kill leader. Wouldn't mind saying good day to him. Oi, extra supplies here. Oi, barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Attention. Delivering care package.
You hear that? There's a care package coming down.
I'm going. Laser sight here. Level 3.
Here's your birthday present. Helmet here. Level 2.
Level 2.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 3.
Got some extra supplies.
Oh my god, you guys are vultures.
My ultimate is ready. Woohoo!
Flatline here.
Cheers very much.
Setting up a zipline.
Extended light mag here. Extended energy mag here. Level 2.
Might be something good that way.
Onto me knuckle cluster.
Backpack here. Level 2. Optics here. Close range.
Hands off, that's a Prezi for Fusey.
New kill leader appointed.
Got us a new kill leader. Wouldn't mind saying good day to him.
Optics here. Mid-range. Gotta hop up here. Hammer point.
While the IPC increase for Zen 6 over Zen 5 isn't expected to be as crazy as what Zen 5 is bringing, it could end up being just as important to gamers due to how many things are being changed in the architecture to benefit latency. You see, you have to remember that IPC does not equal gaming performance. Bcache added 0 IPC to both the Zen 3 5800X3D and the Zen 4 7800X3D. And yet, despite there being a 0% IPC increase, gaming performance went up by double digits, sometimes 30% or more in extreme scenarios. And so, just to summarize here, Zen 5 is going to have a traditional IPC increase that's quite large, in addition to large multi-threading performance increases, really just perfecting AMD's SMT implementation. And then Zen 6 is going to boost the IPC by a respectable amount, maybe about as much as Zen 2 did, you know, above 10%. But it's going to do latency improvements that should make the gaming performance itself, despite not being a huge IPC increase, be far, far higher and really just perfect the overall Zen architecture itself before Zen moves on to something that might not even be called Zen. That's right, I have got whispers of what's going to happen in a post-Zen world, confirmation and pictures of 32
Janet Best.
CCDs for Zen 6.
Beautiful and professional
more.
channel. I appreciate your efforts. Add me up on Discord to join your live stream whenever you are streaming. This is my Discord username, Marpet.
You can get to one of those stores.
Oh,
They
thank
have
you.
The best deals. Right now, I know they're giving away free RAM.
That's what
and
alerts
tons of
are for.
different products. And well, if you build a new PC right now with parts from Micro Center and send them a picture, they'll just give you $25 off on top of all of the other deals and discounts we're doing right now. Like also selling the Creality Ender 3 S1 3D printer for only $149. And there's tons of other holiday deals in a link in the description below. And they're actually opening up a new store in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2024. If you just visit that store, they'll give you a free USB. You just have to show up to a new store. They give you a free flash drive. They're always giving away free things, whether it's RAM or flash drives. They're always giving you tons of different deals that stack on top of each other. And I honestly do think that right now is probably the best time to build a PC in, well, maybe in 4 or 5 years. So if you're going to do it, go to a Micro Center, put those links in the description to support the channel, and get as many discounts as you can. And just remember, clicking on those links helps the channel alone. Check out Micro Center today. Alright now, before I get to the leak, please note that as usual when it comes to a sensitive set of information, I have changed a few things around that I'll be showing you, like slightly changed the shades of colors from a piece of documentation, messed with the font a bit, shifted the pixels around, and obfuscated a few things to protect my sources. But what you are looking at here is part of a larger diagram for a product that was called Epic-E, which I believe the E stands for Edge computing. And while I don't feel like it's safe to show the whole thing, I will show this snippet here that clearly calls out Venice SP8 CCDs and I/O dies, and then in addition to that, Epic-E can use networking compute dies from Pensando Selena IP, and then there is also clearly called out that the Epic-E products can be used in the SP8 socket, or they come in BGA variants as well. And now I want to explain what all this really means so far. So when it comes to SP8, I believe that SP8 is to SP7, which is the Zen 5 128 or 192 core Zen 5 Turin socket. I believe SP8 to SP7 is what SP6 is to SP5. In other words, SP7 Venice is the big socket coming in a couple of years. It's a successor to Turin and Genoa, and then SP8 Venice
There's one flanking.
is a successor to Toronto or Siena, and Epic-E then therefore shares mostly with the smaller socket variant than with the big one, but I honestly have no reason to doubt that all versions, or should I say all Venice sockets can utilize the same, likely 2nm unified 32-core CCDs, and I also wouldn't be surprised if big Venice SP7 simply connects a bunch of these I/O dies and CCDs to make a bigger 256-core product. You see, if I put these together like this, you can clearly see, and this is what I saw in one of the pieces of documentation, that these I/O dies can be put together to have a total of 4 32-core CCDs on SP8s. Although I do want to emphasize that I think it's also very likely that, well, Epic E and SP8 Venice can use 2 I/O dies and up to 4 CCDs.
I can't fight right now. I'm between 3 teams.
Big socket that will succeed.
My best
Now,
option to stay alive is to let
that
these
version
guys
might end up
kill
having
each other and
its
third
own
party it.
multi-IO dies that are larger than the ones in SP8. I want
You guys
to be clear
directly
that
on my back.
the
If I take a shot from here,
documentation
any
that
direction,
I'm
they're gonna hit me
today
from my back.
talks about
This guy's up
sharing
here. This guy's over there.
SP8
This
IO
guy's
dies
back there.
CCDs. Well, I'm like 99.9% sure.
Those
that
guys, they're guys to my left,
all
to my
Epic
right,
products
and
would
behind me to
advise
the
that
east.
larger Epic socket had its own
South,
IO dies that
west,
shared with
east.
stuff
I
I'm
can't do
talking about
anything.
today. And you want to see something else cool? Well,
Until
if I
someone
go back to
passes
the
me.
diagrams that we were just looking at. You see these CCDs
But at this point, they might have
here,
forgot
they
about
don't
me.
have to be CCDs. These are able to be interchanged with things called networking compute dies. You know, I'm willing to show this on screen here. Then there were also other diagrams I saw for FPGA dies, AI engine dies, and many other things. Again, I'm only going to show the networking compute die on screen today. I don't feel like it's necessary to show all documentation I've received because that could give away my sources more easily. But I think it's important just to understand that whether it's the bigger socket or the smaller one, it seems like not only can they share these massive unified 32-core CCDs, but those 32-core CCDs can be swapped out for a host of other chiplets. And alright, I will round out this part of the video by throwing one more snippet on the screen that will take help, but clearly calls out 32 then 64 entry-level variant of Epic E. And I must note, the entry-level variant only has a single SP8 Venice IO die, which can only interface with 2 chiplets. Because this is the Edge Epic family, one of those chiplets has to be a networking die. That's the entire point. And so that leaves only room for 1 core chiplet, which means each core chiplet, yes, it must have 32 cores per chiplet. And then if you look at the Epic E standard, it has 64 Zen 6 cores total. But from what I saw in the diagram, it had an NCD, 232 core chiplets, and then it also had room for an FPGA die that they expected to be the standard specification. But I expect it could go a little higher, and I'd assume the SP8 Venice can go up to 128 cores as well. And well, the other thing you can then draw from this snippet on screen here is, do you notice that the number of PCIe lanes and memory channels doubles to the model with double the IO dies? Well, that tells you that each one of these IO dies gives you 4 DDR5 channels, 32 PCIe 5.0 lanes, and 16 PCIe 6.0 lanes as well. Meaning that if I just transition here to this mockup, this is what I could see a Venice SP7 product looking like. And I've already directly been told by multiple sources that they expect AMD to go to 256 cores for Venice SP7. And if you get, well, 2 core chiplets per one of these IO dies, I think, yeah, this could be what this looks like. And by the way, if you add that all up, that would give you a total of 16 memory channels, which by the way lines up with what other people have leaked on Twitter for the memory channels for SP7, 128 PCIe 5.0 lanes, and 64 Gen 6 PCIe lanes as well. Now again, I want to emphasize that what you're looking at on screen right here, I cannot rule out that the SP7 variant of Venice actually uses its own larger separate IO dies from the smaller socket variants. But again, I think the overall product could look quite a lot like this no matter what, and so I still thought I would show this as the mock-up. Additionally, remember, each one of those 32-core chiplets, you know, you can go up to 256 cores, I believe, with how this is panning out, but you could also swap some of these out for AI engine dies, FPGA dies for specific customers, networking dies, and I'm sure a whole host of other products as well, meaning that this is going to be quite a modular family of server products. And I guess I'll also highlight that I believe these 32-core chiplets that are rather large and unified are likely utilizing the 2nm node. And then from the previous leak I've already talked about from September, there's also 3nm versions of Venice as well that I think will have 16-core chiplets likely on Ryzen. And the only other thing I really have to call out here is, and I've said this before in a few words on Broken Silicon, but I still have not seen a single document mention Zen 6C. Only ever is Zen 6 mentioned, and so I suspect that either AMD wants to stop distinguishing between C and standard cores for marketing reasons, which I'll talk about in a second, or that fundamentally the concept of C cores is obsolete with Venice, that they may be just more expensive, denser chiplets. Like, they can fit more cores into a 2nm chiplet, but that, well, they may be clocked lower than 3nm. They might not be clocked as much lower as you think. I think it's either one of those things, and I can believe either scenario. And so, after putting all the new info in front of you, what else do I have to say about it? Well, I will say this. While Venice EPYC products are going to be moving to new sockets, SP7 and SP8 for server customers, I am actually under the impression that Zen 6 will continue to use AM5 for consumer Ryzen products. Now, I can't be 100% sure of that quite yet, so if that ends up not being true, please don't kill me. But none of my contacts believe that Zen 6 will be moving to AM6, and the fact that Zen 6 isn't going past DDR5, right? They're not using DDR6 with Venice, well, and the majority of their PCIe is still going to be Gen 5, to me that tells me that most likely there's really no reason to move to a new socket for the consumer products. Again, SP7, SP8 will support PCIe Gen 6, but they don't need to put Gen 6 into the I.O. die that Ryzen uses on AM5, and, well, it seems like Zen 6 still just uses DDR5. I really do think that Zen 6 will then...
There's another team over there.
...on AM5 for consumers, but it will...
There's a team back there.
Customers. And so, I think a lot of people are getting ready to talk about how Zen 7 moves to AM6. But that's also where I gotta jump in here and say that, well, I cannot say there isn't going to be a Zen 7. I can say that to this day, I still have not seen a single document mention a Zen 7. And heck, even that Xbox leak that came out still only mentioned Zen 6, even though that console would clearly be coming out when Zen 7 is ready. And so I have to say this. I really do think there is a chance that Zen 6 could be the last Zen. And in fact, one of my sources directly warned me today that there's a pilot program at AMD where they are working on the successor to Zen 6 that will move to three entirely new core types. One that's optimized for performance, one that's optimized for density, and one that's optimized for efficiency. And so if you're AMD and you're working on a new family of core architectures that are all different, that would probably be a good time to move past Zen branding, especially if it moves to a new AM6 or whatever they end up calling it platform. And so I guess we'll have to see, but at a minimum for now, what I would say is AMD had 3 architectures that use DDR4 on AM4. Zen 1, Zen 2, and Zen 3. Remember, Zen Plus wasn't really fundamentally a new architecture past Zen 1. And then, with AM5, I think they're going to have 3 architectures again that use DDR5. Zen 4, Zen 5, and Zen 6. And then after that, it seems like they may evolve into something completely different to compete with Intel's Nova Lake. And, well, I guess the last thing then to discuss is, alright, so I know that there's 32-core CCDs, likely on 2nm, for EPYC with Zen 6, and I believe there's going to be 16-core CCDs on 3nm that will be used for Ryzen products on AM5. Do I actually think they're going to give you more than 16 cores on AM5 with Zen 6? I actually still don't know, and I think there is a chance that, well, AMD could give you 2 16-core 3nm chiplets for Zen 6 on AM5. I also think there's a chance they may just have like one large unified 16-core chiplet on AM5, and then maybe they just try to shove an AI engine or something there next to it for consumer Ryzen. Because, well, I honestly think that right now AMD isn't sure if there's any point in going past 16 cores for consumers, because as much as some vocal people online say they want it, AMD still sees a lot of apps where scaling diminishes quite a bit past 32 threads, And I'm suspecting that AMD's thinking right now, by the time a lot of apps can even use more than 32 threads, are AI engines going to be a better way to scale performance on desktop in addition to 16 cores anyways? Like, if we were to bring out 32 cores with Zen 5 or Zen 6, in 2027, might it not have been better just give them 16 cores in an AI engine? I think that's something that AMD is honestly considering right now. And, well, honestly, if you check the Amazon CPU bestsellers, you can see that nobody really wants anything more but the fastest cores you can get. No joke, Intel can't even get people to pay more than they do for a 7800X3D, which has 8 big cores, over the i7-13700K that also has 8 big cores. Heck, even the 5800X3D is selling for almost the same price, meaning that nobody wants to pay a cent for those E-cores. They just want to pay per P-core, and they're ignoring the E-cores. And I also think it's worth emphasizing that 2 of Intel's best-selling CPUs on Amazon right now actually only have 4 E-cores, and only one of them is 8 E-cores. None of the top-selling Intel CPUs on Amazon right now have 12 or 16 E-cores. People want as many P-cores as you can give them, and they don't want the E-cores. And so if AMD looks at that, I think there's a decent chance they may conclude we should just stick with 8 cores in the mid-range and maybe give them extra features, and then in the high end, give them 16 cores clocked as fast with as much cache as possible, because at least right now the market is showing it doesn't really want more than that. And therefore, I must also conclude, or at least advise AMD, that if they do feel pressured from Intel next year, pressured enough to bring out a 24-core Zen 5 product, like I've been told and leaked before that they could do if they wanted to, well, that product would have 16 C-cores. I would advise AMD to just call it a 24-core, and say what the base clocks are for all-core boost, and then for like 8-core boost, 4 and 1-core boost like Intel does, and then call it a day. Because I do believe that calling their C-cores a different core type than their main cores is damaging them in marketing. Because if you actually look at the performance, AMD has shared this, I'm putting it on screen right now, C-cores don't perform worse than the non-C cores. In fact, in the right scenarios, they actually perform with higher IPC. And I think it's a mistake to call them something else, because you see all these websites saying these are AMD C-cores, even though these cores are just big cores that happen to be optimized for density and actually sometimes even offer higher IPC than the non-C cores. And that's what I would advise them to do. That's what I suspect they're going to do moving forward when Strix comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if they call it a 12-core. They don't talk about the C parts of it because it's clearly just causing negative confusion for them. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you want to hear more about what I think about upcoming AM5 products, the longevity of the platform, and even what Intel is doing with their motherboards, consider supporting More Thought is Dead on Patreon. Just $2 to get you access to a new die shrink that came out today that is over an hour-long discussion of all of these subjects that I'm talking about here. And there's hundreds of other die shrink episodes that never have any ads as well. We cannot do this without our patrons. Consider giving us, well, as much money as we would need to buy a can of tuna every month just to get access to all of our content. Thank you at least for watching.
Don't get your budgie smugglers in a twist. It's just...
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the WAN Show. Honestly, it's not really that big of a story, but it is absolutely hilarious. Elon Musk told his...
Sure. What the fuck? You fucked my WAN show shit? Yep, you fucked my WAN show shit.
Rings far, ladies. Oscar Mike. Rings closing in 1. Attention. First blood.
Backpack
First
here.
blood.
Leather one.
Tastes like victory. Double time, people. Ring ain't far. Half of one.
Ducking out here. Seconds, a ring's just ahead.
Listen up, fellas. The ring's moving and we're on the wrong side of it.
Got an Evo shield here. Level 2.
Lucky for you, I've got some extra supplies here.
Ready to go blast speed. See?
Got your 6. Let's do this.
Quit lambing about. Got a charging to drop.
Give it heaps, eh? Got us a care package coming in.
Far enough. Jumping out here.
Bailing out of the vehicle here. Extended heavy mag here.
Close
Level
door
2.
over there. Optics here. Sniper. Makes your platform more versatile.
Did other dude grab that extended heavy mag?
Maybe the screwdrivers are done. Boxes for sure, but we need to get that done.
Yeah.
So you will not be getting an octopus screwdriver for Christmas, which is up to in
So
mining backpack, a unit. And why don't we get that one back so we can get what is essentially it's only one unit, so it's not perfectly scientific or anything. Solved the issue I talked about. The inside.
The zipper is struggling a wee bit.
The inside is dirty. I mean, it's a YKK zipper. Do you want me? Oh, wow.
The inside has been used heavily. There are some samples on the inside of what?
Optics here. Mid-range.
Fuck.
What is up?
Ultimate's off cooldown.
Not only did we
Backpack. That one's coming out next. I like them both at the same time. Any advice for me? I mean, I don't think there's any way to avoid that.
You're gonna upset a customer eventually.
The customer is not. Maybe that person doesn't understand that, or maybe they're not in a state of mind right now where they're able to think about it that way. But whatever the case is, I just got to recognize that this is not my baggage. This is not my burden to carry, and I got to just keep being me and keep being my best self. That's what I would.
You got someone on me.
Recommend, because it will happen. It'll happen. Hi, LTT crew from Oklahoma. I was wondering when the Noctua Edition screwdriver would be released, and will there possibly be a stubby version? We've been asked about additional colorways for stubby. I think that in the very long term, we'd love to just find a way to handle lots of different colors or whatever. You could buy a preloaded, hex one, and it would be, whatever the hex sort of industry standard color is. Are there colors that correspond? Hey, Tanya, I can't remember on the screwdrivers. Is it that the colors correspond to the size or the bit type? He's gone. Well, great. Perfect. cool. Anyway, you know, I would love to have all kinds of, you know, different options, or do like fun little drops. You know, here's 69 Lambo edition ones, or, you know, whatever, right? But right now, we have to focus our manufacturing capacity, which, if you're regular viewers will know, is a lot of it here. No, not him. You're not the manufacturing capacity.
No, I have an answer.
Oh, alright.
Red, torque screwdriver.
Okay, so it's by bit type.
Blue, torque screwdriver often used for electrical work. Green, torque screwdriver used for electronics and appliances.
Are you really going to go through this whole thing?
I was going to.
Sure. You know what? I'm actually here for it.
Yellow, flathead screwdriver. Black, magnetic screwdriver. Orange, insulated screwdriver used for electrical work to prevent electrical shock. And silver, precision.
But right now, we have to focus our manufacturing capacity, which, if you're regular viewers will know, is a lot of it here. No, not him. You're not the manufacturing capacity.
No, I have an answer.
Oh, alright.
Red, Phillips screwdriver.
Okay, so it's by bit type.
Blue, Phillips screwdriver often used for electrical work. Green, torque screwdriver used for electronics and appliances.
Are you really going to go through this whole thing?
I was going to, yeah.
Sure. You know what? I'm actually here for it.
Yellow, flathead screwdriver. Black, magnetic screwdriver. Orange, insulated screwdriver used for electrical work to prevent electrical shock. And silver, precision screwdriver used for small electronics and devices.
All right. Well, we probably won't be following this key, but we'll do something. Yeah. The point is, right now we need to focus our manufacturing capacity on the few SKUs that we're bringing out. But in the longer term, yeah, we'd love to do all kinds of things. What I said last time people asked about different colorways on the stubby is, yeah, we'd love to, but we need to see the stubby be a big success in the standard colors, and then we'll consider bringing in additional colors, because your additional colors are always going to be some proportion of what you would sell in black. I have yet to see any evidence, whether it's t-shirts or sweatshirts or screwdrivers or anything. I've yet to see any evidence to support that some other color will sell more than black. You know what? I would have to launch it, because we've sold through. It's super cool. We actually did a video showing to do the demo, because it's. Oh, but that's fine.
I don't feel like it's really been that bad. We've had a lot of issues with our transcoding system for a really long time, but kind of out of those waters now. Not only did we more or less fix the transcoding system that we have, but the new one, which is called, but the new one, that was a big issue earlier this year. But yeah, I think we're mostly out of that now. I think that's probably the biggest problem we've had that was like long running. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of Floatplane, we apparently have 2 Floatplane exclusive videos where Tynan talks about the metal screwdriver in more detail, and one where the Creator Warehouse team looks over the mining backpack. That one's coming out next Tuesday. So the screwdriver one's already there. The backpack. I'm glad they did that before I put a hole in it.
Yeah.
Mind you, it might merit a follow-up video if depending on what we find, we'll have to see.
Tynan ran off with it like right away.
Yeah, Tynan, he takes stuff serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, when I single out Tynan, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am saying that the rest of the team is not good. You know, it's
what?
I like hamburgers. You hate hot dogs? No. Love them all. I'll eat one hot dog and one hamburger. I'll do it right now. I'll eat them both at the same time. I just mean that doesn't surprise me at all that he immediately went where he has more access to tools and whatever else. All right, why don't we? What do you want to do now? What are you supposed to be doing?
We were asking about the Noctua screwdriver timeline.
Oh, right. Yes, I did look that up. Here's the last update that I have from Nick. 24,000 people have signed up for a notification when it's in stock. Historically, the conversion is obviously not 100%, but that's good. Boxes are expected to be complete in early December. Then it's just pending shipping of boxes. And screwdrivers, maybe? No? I'm not sure. Maybe the screwdrivers are done. Boxes for sure, but we need to get that done.
Yeah.
So you will not be getting a Noctua screwdriver for Christmas, which is unfortunate.
What are you doing?
Because they look so cool.
Oh.
These are my hex, my metric, my imperial hex.
Oh, wait, you have a skill.
This is my standard bit set. I never thought about doing that. Oh my gosh. Perks.
I still really like the custom screwdriver that you and I made that one night. I love it. We made one that looks like toys.
Oh yeah.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's
every
super
time I
cute.
use it at home, I'm like, this is sweet. This is dope.
My gosh. Perks.
I still really like the custom screwdriver that you and I made that one night. I love it. We made one that looks like toys.
Oh yeah.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's
every
super
time I
cute.
use it at home, I'm like, this is sweet. Like the custom screwdriver that you and I made that one night. I love it. We made one that
forget
looks
what the
like
color scheme
toys.
is. Oh yeah.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's
every
super
time I
cute.
use it at home, I'm like, this is sweet. This is dope. You can never get like really high quality products in that type of a color scheme. Like it actually looks like a kid's toy, but then it's it's great. I love it.
We would love, in the longer term, to have a BYOS, build your own screwdriver, configure it thing. I think that it's something we may be able to achieve at some point. I haven't talked about this much, but we have fixed
Get
shaft
grenades on 'em.
screwdrivers coming. There's been a ton of work. Robert from the creator.
One that
forget
looks
what the
like
color
a
scheme
toy.
is. Oh yeah.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's
every
super
time I
cute.
use it at home, I'm like, this is sweet. This is dope. You can never get like really high quality products in that type of a color scheme. Like it actually looks like a kid's toy, but then it's it's great. I love it.
We would love, in the longer term, to have a BYOS, build your own screwdriver, configure it thing. I think that it's something we may be able to achieve at some point. I haven't talked about this much, but we have fixed shaft screwdrivers coming. There's been a ton of work. Robert from the Creator Warehouse team has been heading that up. And it's more challenging than you would think because we are not just taking some screwdriver set from some factory and silkscreening our logo on it. That's not good enough for us. We are creating something really special. We're going to be using a very similar ergonomic shape compared to our ratcheting driver, but obviously the shafts are going to be thinner so that you can get into places that a multi-bit screwdriver simply can't. They won't ratchet. They're going to have an overgrip because we don't have to fit all the bits inside, so there's enough room to do a multi-mold process. So we'll have like a hard inner mold and then a softer outer mold, but it's not soft. We want something that's like, got a little bit of grip to it, feels nice in the hand, but is not going to wear out. We're going to have these little kind of butt plugs. Well, they go on the butt of the screwdriver and they're a plug. Is that kind of create your own ultimate fixed shaft screwdriver set for your needs and have it match all your other screwdrivers, assuming that you just get them all from LTT store, and there would be no reason not to because they're going to be looking awesome. The smallest handle size
You're right.
down to almost precision territory because remember we do have a precision driver coming for that really fine work, and then the biggest one is actually bigger than this one. It's like a number 3 flathead.
Yeah.
Like the handle on one of those. And the manufacturer says don't use it as a pry bar, but like
it can do it.
What else is anybody doing with these screwdrivers? Oh, are we still alive? What? Which chat saying F? It's back. All right, cool. Anyway. Really excited about those. I forget what the point of what I was talking about was, but it's going to be great. What are we supposed to do? Oh yeah, topics. Are they hot ones? Oh! Man, what? Okay, this is really turning into the merch show, but Dan? Not you. Producer of the H3 podcast.
It's muted.
People are mad at them.
He still has credentials, though.
Shout out. Listen. So the only influencer product I've ever bought in my life is Linus's screwdriver, and this thing is such an awesome.
What's so good about it?
Just really well made. It's a ratchet screwdriver, so.
This man is selling screwdrivers.
Selling screwdrivers. And then at the bottom, got
that's
it in there.
I've never seen that.
So yes, this is an official Linus Tech Tips collaboration here. Thank you, Linus.
Sweet.
Heck yeah!
Is he building a computer?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. So cool. You don't have to build a computer with the LTC screwdriver. You can do anything.
It's actually, when you try to do something else, there's like a that comes up. Incompatible. You should try it out. Buy one. Test it.
I really like the idea of buying 4 or 5 to store all their different bit types in. I am definitely doing that. That is a genius idea. I never thought about doing
Quite
that.
the flex. Apparently, people in floatplane chat say I'm wrong because they use it for things other than building computers. But I still think you should.
Well, they could be lying. They're biased.
Yeah,
They're floatplane chat. They're the most hardcore.
Yeah, you should still test it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about fake women who got a conference canceled.
Yeah. At Devternity, and only 2 appear to be fake. Further,
only 2 appear to be real. I guess is what that was meant to be read.
Yeah. Reading forward.
Talking.
One of the real women dropped out due to medical
Okay,
issues.
so they actually only had one real one. Okay.
And in previous years, it appears that the small number of fake professionals would cancel at the last minute, which would appear to the observers as a coincidence rather than deliberate fraud. So, yeah, they would just have them cancel, and then they'd be like, oh, sorry guys, not all the panel presenters are able to make it.
And then you just have
But most of them do, and you paid $1,000 to come here anyways. So, hope you enjoy the snacks. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, our discussion question. While organizers clearly shouldn't be making up fake speakers for the sake of appearances, is there a genuine supply issue when it comes to prominent female speakers in
talking events, stuff like that?
Shref2K says, so tired of the Sue simping. Well then, you know, maybe...
Sorry, next time he'll be into leather jackets and expensive kitchens. Like,
yeah, maybe Intel should try, being competitive. I mean, it's an idea. It's an idea. What?
It's a.
Why would you laugh? That's a real idea.
That's good. Maybe you should.
You know what? I'm gonna call them right now. You can say, look, if you don't want us to talk about how great AMD is doing under the leadership of Dr. Sue, then maybe you should compete better.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me just.
Good idea.
I mean, it's all numbers. How do I dial Intel? Is it
T9?
Role playing as a boomer.
Oh man.
Anyway, I gotta admit, I don't have solutions to these problems. I want there to be them, but
I just got added. I organize a conference. Yes. Apparently it's a thing.
Added to what?
At.
Added.
You're role playing as a boomer.
Sorry. Yes. what? I don't remember what the question was.
To my they probably talk to each other about what events are cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That wasn't really a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Pokemon's a prominent woman in gaming, not tech.
Yeah. This is a developer conference.
This is like you know what? This is like when people say that the choice anymore.
Yeah. I mean.
The choice anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I suspect they'll still make GPUs.
Why bother?
Yeah, keep the fabs.
Not everybody stays in Obviously, this is a much, much smaller scale example, but I think consumers in general, particularly enthusiasts, tend to overestimate their own importance. I think they tend to overestimate the size and strength of the enthusiast market. And obviously gaming has grown a lot, but I think to consumers, DFI, for example, died 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whenever they stopped making motherboards.
I like DFI.
Except for one small detail. They never stopped making motherboards. DFI still exists today. Every once in a while, I will walk past the DFI booth at a trade show and be like, oh yeah, Diamond Flower International. Sorry, excuse me. Design for Innovation. That was a retcon back in the day. Yeah, IBM. Yeah, IBM is a great example.
They even pulled out their like sub-brand.
That
got rid of Lenovo.
Yep. See you later. And so, why not? Why doesn't NVIDIA just go, AI is the future.
Yeah.
Why don't we just buy every possible wafer and turn it into AI accelerators?
It's probably worth more than gold.
And just be the entire AI future, the entire planet, and let AMD and Intel fight over like these like
tiny scraps.
Whiny,
throw a grenade on them.
Gamers, yeah. Like bow to their, complaining about your prices. They complain about your product.
Coming on your flank.
Everything, and to be clear, I'm not saying the complaints aren't valid. I'm just saying that it's a lot less challenging from a day-to-day standpoint, not from an engineering standpoint, but from a day-to-day standpoint, having just a handful of customers that you can engage with meaningfully one-on-one who have big money, compared to having a whole bunch of customers that are that are gonna hate you no matter what you do, no matter how good of a deal you give them. I don't think that last part is necessarily true, but I could see how NVIDIA might kind of perceive it that way these days. From their point of view, Moore's Law is dead and you should accept it, and we're giving you the best we can. Deal with it. I'm sorry you're mad, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like we didn't like them when we felt like...
What the fuck just happened?
But, really, it's not...
And how does the whole clip not fucking kill a guy?
What we're accustomed to, and that's really challenging. That makes us feel, not taken seriously, and I guess, yeah, I don't think NVIDIA does take the gaming market nearly as seriously as it used to, and I think you can see that evidenced in the way that NVIDIA talks about it. Yeah, it sucks. It's not like I don't like the products, right? I mean, Z Biggie says, what's the percentage of their business that's graphics? Microsoft has about 8% of their revenue from Xbox, so if they keep a division that's 8%, why wouldn't NVIDIA keep graphics? Look, it's possible, yeah, that they'll keep graphics forever, and they'll eventually turn into kind of a scrappy subdivision or whatever the case may be.
I don't think you can do that comparison either, though.
But
fab capacity.
Well, it's not just fab capacity. It's also just the I don't know. It's almost just like the will. It's like the interest. I haven't.
Well, coming down, dropping on you.
I've only met him a couple times. But from interviews, from watching him talk, from those handful of interactions, he's a super passionate guy.
I'm sure.
Every story I've heard about him, super passionate. I've heard him described as the kind of boss where he can be hyper assertive and swoop in and act like he can do your job better than you can, and what makes you most infuriated is the fact that he fucking can. And it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? Because I can, I've heard him described that way. I've also heard him described in other less favorable ways. But the point is, everything aligns with this perception that he's extremely passionate. And he's clearly passionate about AI. And their leadership very much flows from the top down.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Yeah, maybe gaming, does continue to get some attention over there. But maybe it doesn't, because remember too, it's not just about what percentage of your overall business it is. Sometimes it's about
just
what
stick
looks
together
better to your shareholders. And gaming margins are pretty crappy compared to workstation margins, compared to enterprise margins. And you know what? Yeah, they might like the volume. That might.
I was on a spree, but let's go.
In bigger volume discounts for their real products that they make.
We're within 2 now.
A TSMC, or who knows? Someday maybe Intel's fab business.
Pull it together, boys. Pull it together.
All I'm saying is I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
CEOs are infinitely replaceable. I don't get the focus, says Signal. That's actually super not true. Think about it this way. I think we can all agree that a bad CEO can destroy a company. KDD. That was it. Yep, that's it. That whole argument obliterated.
Next topic. Sponsors.
Oh. All right, yeah. Those guys, right? We can't.
Back off to me.
MSI. It's got their holiday giveaway. Lucky the Dragon wants to share some luck with you this holiday. And our sponsor, MSI, is hosting their largest giveaway, and you have a chance to win a whole PC setup. I'm talking CPU, GPU, motherboard, SSD, monitor, and more. Basically, it's everything that completes a sick system. There are 15 ways to enter. What the heck?
That's a lot.
You earn extra entries by posting a video or photo on what you would do with your MSI setup, or share with them what your current setup is and why it needs to be upgraded. Don't forget to add hashtag MyMSI in the post. That is very, very important. The prizes include 3 full desktop setups, one $1,000 and 4 $500 Amazon gift cards. And, whoa, wow, look at these. Oh, wow, these are sick days. Okay, that's super cool. You can enter the giveaway before December 8th at midnight, so you still have 1 week to do it, but that doesn't mean you should wait until the 6th day. You should just do it now. You can also check out some lucky deals and enter the giveaway at the links down below. The show is also brought to you by Backblaze. You should always have a plan B when things happen unexpectedly. Hey, thank you for that, Dennis.
You slowly falling into the pool will never get old.
Yeah, I'm not falling. That is a controlled entry into the pool.
Yep.
That's why our sponsor, Backblaze, is there to step in to be the solution to back up your files. Oh, Plan B. Oh, that was very awkwardly worded. Good job, Dennis. Backblaze is affordable
We gotta
and
group
easy
up.
to use and starts at just $9 a month. You can back up almost anything from your Mac or PC and access it anywhere in the world with their web and mobile apps. You can also easily protect business data through a centrally managed admin, allowing you to automatically protect all the data on your employees' computers, and they offer multiple restore options in the event of data loss or ransomware. Plus, you can increase your retention history to 1 year for an extra $2 a month, so you'll be worry-free if you accidentally delete any files. Backblaze got 55 billion files.
Good work, good work!
And they have 2 exabytes of data under their management, including some of ours. We back up our servers nightly to Backblaze here. Packet.
He asked it's the only time I had this entire week, so it was convenient because it came out yesterday. It's pretty cool. I am intentional.
Do you want to do the first one, Luke? Because I have to go pee.
Sure. If there's one for me,
I will have a look. Nobody asked them about you. No, there's a couple good ones in here.
Sure.
Luke, any thoughts on World of Warcraft Classic Season of Discovery? I hadn't played Classic before, but it's been a blast finding and sharing new things with everyone.
Yeah, my brother and a buddy of mine played last night, actually. It's the only time I had this entire week, so it was convenient because it came out yesterday. It's pretty cool. I am intentionally, the whole idea is the discovery word, right? So I've intentionally been going in pretty blind, not trying to look things up, just trying to play it and see what's going on. And it seems neat so far. I don't have a lot else to say. I haven't played a ton. We'll see how it goes. So the whole idea, if you haven't heard of it, is they have like a progressing level cap. So it's classic with some changes through this rune system that you can look up if you care. And then the initial level cap is all 25. And there's like, they turn some dungeon into and there's other new flavor and things are cool. But it's like experience, but in the WoW Classic environment, which is a cool concept. I feel like they took a lot of lead from like RuneScape, who's done very similar things, just like they took a lot of lead from RuneScape when they made WoW Classic at all. So they're just taking more leads from that book. But yeah, it was good.
Luke, as a software developer, why do you not share the programmer's pessimism perspective to large language model AIs? The last 10% is always the hardest and longest part. For example, self-driving cars.
Yeah, when did I not say that?
I have no idea. This anonymous person thinks that you think like that.
Oh.
Do you think like that?
No. I think I'm probably where it's at. That might be where the confusion's at. I've said a number of times on Wen Show that I think it's like really far away from being 100%, like many years probably. The hallucination problem is going to stick around for like a hot minute.
You think it'll get worse? Because we're seeing self-feeding data now.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that. We'll have to see if they can find some tricks to try to stop that from happening. It felt like it kind of did at one point already. It's hard to measure. It's very hard to measure. But yeah, finishing this thing's gonna be a problem. I said like in one of the first streams that we ever covered it.
With a IPS panel. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was my first go-to. Great handheld. Yeah. Played a lot of hours on the Game Boy. And so you too. Monster Revenge. Awesome game on the Game Boy if you've never played.
Never played the Game Boy.
Yeah.
I did Castlevania 2, beat it in like a day or two on the NES.
Well, you can see my bedspread thing behind me. Yeah, no, I mean, NES. What is that? What is that, Mike Methuselah? What is that, Mike Methuselah? You're gonna make that sick, aren't you? That's the original NES controller right there. What are you?
What the fuck?
Match found.
Just take a seat. I got this.
My reflection is here. Do me a favor, cariño. Kill her.
Yo, Reyna, what gun you want? I got you. What gun you want? You want Sheriff or Ghost? Or
The AI stuff. That's of course where we ended up. That like shipping products around this was going to be incredibly difficult and take a very long time, and that has proven to be the case.
Careful now.
Okay, and let's see, we got one more here for Linus. Nice. You're just in time. You're just in time.
It would have been awkward if you'd read one for Linus while I wasn't here.
Spike
With
planted.
my kids deciding to plant my screwdriver bits, thanks for the restock, and needing to
plant them,
like in the garden.
I mean, that's one way to get more.
It's one weird trip. And needing shipment to Australia. What's the most expensive thing your kids have broken or lost?
Wow, my kid's actually super careful.
One enemy remaining.
Like my son got his first phone at I think 8.
Australia. What's the most expensive thing your kids have broken or lost?
Wow, it's actually super
That is
careful.
good, but we are not done.
I'm saving.
Like my son got his first phone at I think 8. 7 or 8. Still has it. Perfect condition. I'm trying to think. What do they have that's they almost broke something very expensive. The Sony OLED TV in the family room. My girls, while it was just sitting in the base of the TV packaging, while it was just sitting there.
They're coming here.
The whole thing over. Wait. Not a scratch. I gave them. It was a miracle that it wasn't broken because that was $1,000. So that's I think the closest that they've gotten to breaking something very significant. I mean, they do damage to the house and stuff, but
so a lot of that's just gonna happen.
That's pretty much wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's the worst they ever did.
I thought you were gonna take the approach of like you kind of colloquially called some of your employees kids before.
Oh, they've broken stuff. Yeah, don't imagine for a second that I'm the only one who's ever broken anything around here. I'm just the only one who is on camera when it happens.
And catches the blame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% thought it was going to before. Anyways, I think that was the third. We move on.
That was the third? Yeah.
Okay. What is this? Legally distinct IP tubers?
Took the trade.
Zola?
I don't really want to click on
They're on
this.
site.
Hey, Linus,
Spike planted.
Well, I'm gonna do it.
Oh. Is that you and me?
Yep.
Let's go.
I got Lena Sebastian.
Flyboat?
Flyboat Mania, that's great.
Up top in heaven. Try and get the defuse.
That's a really good name,
Stick
actually.
it.
That's actually
One enemy remaining.
He's on him. He's on him. Come help him. Good job.
Good stuff.
That's a
Whiff.
great name.
Double whiff.
Wow. Cool. That's not what I was expecting to look at today.
Hey, I know scoped right now.
Dropping a GPU.
Good job.
I
You've
think
held
I'm
them off
throwing.
long enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I would VTuber with that persona. I would 100% do that. Oh, what is this? Is this a video?
Also, Dan. Wait, what? No way. No way. No way.
What is it?
Wait for it. Legally distinct tech show producer. What's up?
I love the little anime sweatsuit thing. Oh, did you see it? Oh,
117 Viper.
That totally fits.
I have one of those turtleneck.
Spike planted.
Very similar to ours. That is very cool. I'm flattered.
How's it go?
Great job. You've done this.
Oh, yours has earrings.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They are
Last player standing.
shockingly on point.
They're actually really good. I genuinely really like mine. That's cool.
I'm twitchy here. Let's go already.
Don't say wood. Get out of here. Leave it alone.
No.
Don't do that. That's me. Literally me. You can't say that. Come on. Oh,
All four of you.
I feel protective of my little avatar now. Lucy. Don't go after Lucy. Leave Lucy alone.
Oh no. Low playing why?
Leave Lena alone
She's
too.
lawless.
Oh my.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Alright, let's move on. Microsoft Paint Plus. Now with Dolly. Oh, no way, we get to try it? Yay! The Windows 11 Paint app
Oh.
now has an integrated co-creator text-to-image generator feature.
Yeah, so
it's on this laptop.
Is this all users, or is this just like
Spike
early
planted.
access people, or pre-release? Okay.
Okay, hey Luke, wanna play a game?
Sure.
Last player standing.
It's called MS Paint. It's the best game.
Okay, people from our era, that's actually a thing. When you didn't have the internet.
No, I want it.
Come on, Lena.
Why are you taking it?
Come on,
No,
Lena.
I want to talk in the chat. Can I just have the
die. Lucky
Let him have
Can
it.
I just have it? It's playing audio.
Yeah, because you unplug the HDMI, so
What
the
do you
audio
mean?
device resets.
No, Dan told me to unplug the HDMI.
Yeah, but there's other steps included in that process. Figure it out, Lena.
Trying to make things smooth. Can't make it smooth. Sorry, Luca, or whatever your name is.
Lucy, get it right.
Sorry. I mean, I only got one letter wrong. It's 75% right.
You should totally license the design for some t-shirts. That'd be a pretty specific reference. But I bet you could.
Stop. I know I would.
No.
Come on, let's go!
Stop.
Spike planted.
Is the computer on
Spotted
green?
B. Reloading.
I mean, Dan prepared it, so it was a 50-50 shot from the outset.
Everything's 50-50. In this case, it either worked or it didn't.
Oh, you know what? I think it's probably
Last player standing.
It's like oh.
No body pillow. Okay, stop.
We have a body pillow coming.
Is it like a GPU?
All I'll say is that it's coming.
No. Oh.
I hate it here. It just uses the confetti design from the women's underwear and the ones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we decided not to go anime girl with it. We thought we'd keep it, you know, put the CL in it, you know, with the CL, classy, not without the CL.
Face your fear!
I need help over here as soon as possible.
What's going on here, Dan? Maybe take the laptop away from him and get it turned on and then bring it back.
My magic
We
finger.
can do it on the top.
Spike down.
Enemy remaining.
Top of heaven.
Spike down A.
Yeah, no, I totally did. Remember that?
Team
I
A.
didn't do anything.
I was
I can't explain this. It doesn't even have Linux on it. That I know.
No, this is my whole point. I was talking about how we were gonna work on something, but I was like, we have to be really, really thorough about it. We should test it really thoroughly, and then before we release it, we need to hand it to Linus because everything breaks when he touches it. So that'll be our final line of testing.
Sometimes things magically work when I touch them, though.
Yeah,
You witnessed that.
it is currently working.
Change the functional
state.
status of things.
Yeah. It's okay. That's really funny.
That's fine. We'll do that later.
Yeah, whenever it's working. Okay.
We talk about how our social media team is hiring.
Sure.
We're hiring both a short form video coordinator and an organic content and memes coordinator. Is that really a job title here?
I'll call it out right now as well. It's going to be posted up very soon. I wanted it posted up this week, but there was for reasons it's not. But it'll be up sometime next week. But we're posting a position that probably a surprising amount of you are going to be interested in. and I'm
They're
kind of
rotating.
terrified about the incoming
They're rotating. They went all
but
through the
It
spawn.
is local only, so that should help a lot. It must be local only, and you must literally right now be legally able to work in Canada. So you pretty much have to be here already, to be clear. But we are hiring a junior level 1 IT tech support position. We need some help.
Last player standing.
So
104 Viper.
applicants. Yeah.
Spike down A.
There's at least one with her. One's coming up the ramp to you.
We are looking for someone.
Yours up on the ramp on you.
To, construct and deconstruct computers, do some basic troubleshooting, have some basic understanding of networks and networking, stuff like that. Lots of opportunity to learn on the job, working
10 seconds
under
left.
AJ and Sean and myself, and with Dan. And yeah, it should be really cool. Maybe an interesting opportunity. but it is yeah, it's a very junior position. Yeah,
sounds mint.
Anyone have a phantom skin?
Junior mint. All right. I was like, is he being a zoomer? And I was like, nope, he's being a boomer. Yeah, you're not sure which one.
Mint's not a zoomer thing.
Junior mints?
No, I just mean like mint. That's mint. That's ancient.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
what
gonna
you're saying.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Wait, what do you mean nice zoomer talk? No, Elijah said the
Did
same
I just
thing.
fool him? Is he trying to act like? How old is he? Is he not zoomery anymore? Is he not young? Are zoomers old now?
I don't know.
What's the one under them?
I mean, less old than us. No,
What's the next one?
Under them is Gen Alpha.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
Wow.
I mean, who gets to name these
Imagine
things?
being called Gen Alpha.
Yeah, then what's the next one going to be? Sigma? Like,
wow. Yeah.
Gen Chad?
Fuck you!
Begins. You good, Dan? He says the battery was charged, which...
Oh, yeah. So Dan did something really cool, too, with the like, back
Last
display
player
thing.
standing.
That sounds like good use of time.
Honestly, he was probably forwarding the... Oh, yeah.
God, I'm waiting for Luke. Love it.
Psych.
You guys couldn't hear his comeback.
I was stuck in a meeting.
Luke got roasted. Like, over an open fire.
Yeah.
He was a chestnut.
If I was...
It's Christmas. What do you want?
If I was...
December now.
If I was Gen Alpha, it probably wouldn't even have affected me at all.
It's fair game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never checked if Elijah responded.
For what?
Man, the next AMD Ultimate Tech upgrade is great.
He said I'm 17, so exactly.
Going up.
They
I need help over here.
They Elijah saved the workspace.
Spike planted.
Welcome to
So we've got work safe signs on the stairs about maintaining 3 points of contact.
Cover the stairs with...
We also provided Elijah with a helmet. We thought it was easier to put the padding on him than to try to put the padding on everything he might touch.
Just tape them up like pillows.
104 fade, back corner.
You guys.
Oh yeah, you gotta look at the back of the laptop.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, that's that was good use of time. Oh, I thought it said short Linus. Okay,
No,
okay. Oh no,
wait, what?
Well, no, I don't know. I thought maybe DRAM put him up to it because they sponsored the After Dark today. The WAN Shore. Does it just say Linus? Tech. Okay. Oh, that. Wow. Does this take a long time, or is it just like you just like do
I
text
think
entry?
you just
or
took
like...
a long time to comprehend it. Because it's pretty straightforward.
I'm just asking if it takes a long time to program it, okay?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's done in After Effects. It took about 25 hours.
Shut up.
No, it's just part of the ROG tool.
Yeah, I just mean like you
just type Linus Tech Tips.
Like, can you do different fonts and stuff?
With the font selection, you can do little animations, pictures, and things like that. It's neat.
Yeah, I've never played around with it.
Is it already set up for the 3 different lines?
You can have up to 8.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. So, but the lines on an angle is like a default thing.
Yeah, you have to do it exactly.
I saw Viper at
It's
least.
frustrating. But whatever.
Okay.
Okay, that seems to be working. Let's get rid of your person there.
Creator. Okay, so here we go. I have no idea how this works, so I'm gonna
You
make
only have 50 tokens right now. I see it on the bottom, so don't go like too crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna make Luke super mad. Because I'm probably gonna, do something that, it doesn't do or whatever, and they didn't intend, and then he'll be mad.
No, I don't know. Just do it.
I'm drawing with a trackpad, okay, so go easy on me here. Okay, I'm gonna need...
You're gonna use the co-creator.
Do I make a Manscaped job?
One
I'm gonna
enemy
use the
remaining.
co-creator, okay?
Last player standing.
Okay, so you're gonna
Spike
draw a
down
base
A.
scene and you're gonna ask it to like improve it or something?
Yeah, I want like
That's cool. That seems like a good use.
I
30
want
seconds left.
the
You should ask it to add something to it while matching your art style.
He's probably rotating.
Yeah, he's rotating.
Interesting. Okay, that's not something I thought of, but I do like.
I seriously don't think it'll be able to do it, but I just
Okay, what just happened? Did I not just say solid fill? What was the point of me
10 seconds
saying
left.
that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand. I must have done something wrong here, but there, boom, got him. And then you know what? Let's do some. Let's do some little flower.
Ready.
Nice.
Things were attempted.
Let's put some happy little trees over there. Happy little flowers.
Oh, here we go. Little happy flowers. Boop.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop.
We good.
Such such legally distinct petals. Leaves.
Last round in the half.
Spend everything.
Okay, I would like to add.
Is that a black line with like a red outline? Is that what you just did? Fancy.
Can you add a person? No. Why am I so polite? Add a person to my scene in the same art
You
style.
can be polite. It's fine.
Create.
Let's go.
I have a feeling it's gonna struggle with the art.
Yeah,
style.
there's no way.
Yeah. I just want to see it like try. It's thinking for a minute. Wow.
Interesting.
Face your fear!
Okay, let's try something else.
Oh, so it doesn't actually do it? Do you have to like drag and drop the selections over? Is that what's going on?
No, these are styles you can select.
No. The things under it.
These?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you said, can you add it to it? Can it actually do it for you? Oh. Okay. That is very surrealist.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
It is a thing.
Takes a minute.
Watch your eyes.
Huh.
Going up.
What the?
I mean,
What is that shit?
kind of like what I do. Is it that goes
The right back corner. The right back corner. In the garage. In the hallway. There you go. Knock him down.
The headrest on there.
What about this chair though?
Oh my. Huh. That's a unique design.
I think that this would be an amazing store. AICreations.com.
Switching sides.
You just find things like this. You f***ing make them.
Oh yeah. So like you make this like impossible chair because you route that the like black line that's on there like through the top and you make it work. It would be possible. It would just be kind of sketchy.
Like,
Man, that back leg that's just a spike.
Like, has this been done like as an art installation? Just like, you know, as a commentary on AI or whatever. Just like someone creates.
People are already grabbing the domain.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Over.
I'm sure they are.
What are these other ones it came up with?
It does. Hold on a second. Did anyone own it already? I'm sure there are people who just like already have it ready to go.
I hate that GoDaddy is like still the fastest way to check this.
No man, that's taken. That's taken.
Yeah. AICreation.ca is for 1 cent.
Nice. I kind of just want to look at some of the stuff. What is this thing?
No charges left.
What is this thing?
Focusing.
It looks like a desk organizer.
Careful now.
It looks like,
plushy.
yeah, it looks like somewhere between Eeyore and Ratatouille.
Yeah. There's a measuring tape that's like partially out on the table.
Is this a balloon? A hard hat?
Popcorn bowl?
Impossible to say. That is some art.
Buster ones?
It's
a lot of art.
It's really interesting seeing the AI art.
One
within
enemy
the AI
remaining.
art.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I don't know, lamp. I guess lamp. But like worse.
Worlds within worlds.
What would an
multi-dimensional art?
What would an AI draw? That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not what I asked for, but it's pretty cool.
Like, how do these?
I got it.
I just think it just did a photorealistic scene. I don't know if it really tried to.
I think it didn't look at what you did at all. Like not even slightly.
Okay, well, why don't we ask it for so basically then, is this any different?
Does it look at what you've done at all, or is it just the prompt?
I think it might just be a prompt. There's a little information icon just to the right of describe it.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if that helps. Thanks, Dan. No, I mean, I also don't know. Powered by DALL-E, an AI system that creates realistic images, blah, blah, blah. If you find a creation to be unexpected or offensive, send us feedback. Yeah, so no, this is just...
I think that first image might have been slightly offensive.
This is just DALL-E. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So choose a style? What's under choose a style?
Our spike carriers down.
Spike down B.
Oh.
Oh. In the style of anime. I'm excited right now. I hope I'm doing a cool stance when I do it.
It probably won't.
I hope I'm like Naruto running.
It won't
It's gonna
show
have
a
no idea
specific
who I am.
person. Whoa.
Oh. It's just, there's no actual like nose. The finger's just there.
He's choosing where his nose is gonna go. This neck
That
thing
neck
that's
is
got going on.
intense.
Wow.
Those collarbones are
How you doing for
ready
finger,
for
finger
action.
count here?
The
Whoops.
fingers are...
There's 6 of them, which is fine. Also, this is an interesting shape.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see the rest of them.
That one's like, I'm not picking, but it's better.
Last player standing. Spike down.
Well,
B.
There's something
depends
going
what
on.
You're over
this
top
thing
of
is.
rope.
Yeah.
Not sure what that is.
One enemy remaining.
You're to your left, behind you in the door.
He
Where we came from. Mid.
His eyes were closed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
Okay, so wait, is this actually... they're all kind of blonde and blue-eyed.
Yeah.
You didn't
Look up!
actually know
Yo, he's above
who
you.
I was talking about?
I don't know.
I can't tell.
Look up!
You can search the internet also. Like
Good job.
Okay.
Do you?
Luke Lafreniere from Linus Tech Tips. Hold on. As an anime girl with ears, let's see how close we can get to that artwork from earlier in the show.
All right.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm very scared.
Lucy. I don't remember the last name.
Reloading. Don't hold back.
It's stressful. I expect greatness.
It's apparently against Dolly terms of service to do real people.
Oh.
Well, that's
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Huh. That looks really...
Not anime.
Yeah.
I mean, he's wearing a blue hoodie. Like, I think this is actually inspired by you, though.
Yeah.
Enemy spotted A.
That's not as close.
Yeah. The first one was.
Oh.
What? Where am I even getting hit
Spike down
from?
A.
There's some stuff going on. There's some stuff going on here for sure. The cat ear things are just like behind him as well.
No, that's the other thing.
No.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, okay. They look more like horns.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, see, it's funny. Because it's like, no, we can't quite do that. We can't have too much resemblance, but like, here's a black and orange hoodie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's a kind of weird neckbeard, so it's obviously using a very old image of you, if it did use an image of you as a reference.
I mean, that's probably what is most common. You know? I haven't really been in that many videos.
Alright, here we go.
Let's see. Oh, man. There's interesting reference for this because of
Let me show you how the boss does
the
it.
cat ear headphones.
And also the fact that okay.
That
Yeah.
looks very similar to one of the ones that looked like me.
Whoa!
Don't shoot it.
The
Whoa!
okay.
Should have
Give me the
just
spike, I'll
not
go in
even
with
had
my,
hand out. There's neck most
Ghost
on
spike. Here.
that face, and then
You know what?
wow.
That's. I think the closest we're probably gonna get here.
Look at that right hand.
I mean, that's a left hand, but
Left hand.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that off.
Good.
See.
All right. So why don't we try one more thing? You got any other videos?
So what would this be helpful with? Is anything with
Francesco Goya in the style of Francesco Goya? That's sort of controversial, man. Is it?
Last
Okay,
player
never mind.
standing.
Okay, hold
My ultimate's
on.
not here.
I want to color a picture of a duck. Or
this is a good idea.
black
Okay.
and white.
Alright.
Picture of a duck. With white spaces.
You should be able to
for me
ask it for
color.
paint by numbers.
I know.
Well, yeah,
What
let's just see if it can give me something to color.
Okay.
Spike's here.
Those are something I could see like a child using it for. I also want to do
I also want to do like oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
That looks like perfect. That one a little bit less so. That one perfect.
Weird stuff going on with the foot there, but like, yeah, that's fine. So if I was just,
well, I just mean like that's perfect for coloring. Like,
yeah, if I was just a kid,
not even
I was like,
commenting on the fact that it
oh,
has one giant
one
foot.
giant foot. That's interesting. Oh, it's not perfect for coloring. I can't use the tape like that. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, you know, it's kind of got some.
That art style is kind of neat, though. Actually,
it's cute. Yeah, that's very frustrating.
Some of those zones are real small.
Anyway, there's a duck. Okay,
Euro 74.
I am, picture of a tech YouTuber background set. With RGB lights. There. It looks like you were looking for some inspiration. Why did I leave it on anime? I don't even know what I'm. I don't even really know what I'm trying to do with the styles here.
That's why the eyes of the duck look that way.
Oh, that would explain it.
Cover going out.
Tech YouTuber background style. Oh, that would be expensive.
I mean, no, you just, you know.
Ooh, a tech YouTuber.
You just do it in
Last player
green screen.
standing.
Wow, look at the
I'm
veins
sorry,
on
how
this
much?
man. Those fingers. Yeah, fingers are really weird. You'd think they, like, you know, would just kind of hard code that fingers can't look like that at some point. And like, okay, yeah, these are the rules
They're
of
more
how
interested in
knuckles-
advancement at this point.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
people aren't spending as much time refining, and they're just trying to move forward.
I mean, these are not that bad. There's definitely some inspiration here, if nothing else. They're all kind of samey, which is sort of a bummer.
Blue and red, right?
Over there. Careful here.
Interesting that the background matches the white shot.
Nice. I need a gun. All right, last one for me. And then if you want to do one more, we still can.
Reloading.
Takes a little while. I get it. Okay. That's kind of a cool vibe.
Really cool, actually. What is on the wall? What is it trying to do? There's a camera there in the upper right. No.
Oh, okay. I think these are supposed to be like wall-mounted computers. Yeah. And then, you know, obviously a speaker, a joystick. Like, what is this thing? I don't know. Look at this keyboard. That is stuff.
Whoa! There's keys on like the front of it.
Yeah.
Face your fear!
Wow. All
Raina
right.
coming through mid.
What else we
Last
got?
player standing.
Man, I kind of like
Spike
this
down, B.
speakers embedded in walls thing that it's got going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
These, you know what? Some of these really do immediately give me product ideas.
Yep.
Like just a little RGB dot.
One enemy remaining.
And it's just cute, it just glows. Like that's kind of awesome.
Some battery lasts a long time, and
Yeah, or you can plug it in or use a battery or whatever.
All outside.
I don't know exactly what's going on up here, but boy, is it ever something.
Not bad.
And I mean, I think at this stage, this is realistically more along the lines of what you're going to be able to use an AI image generator. Oh, man.
they're doing close. Ooh, what's they're doing close-up macro inspection of one of their systems while they listen to embedded wall speakers. Just
Yeah, this embedded wall speaker thing.
They're pretty sick.
That's
They're
weird.
actually cool.
Yeah, I kind of, you know, unironically, I like the design of this mic. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it works, but
That stand would like never hold that.
look at this
Spike
mouse.
down, B.
That's a
Super
trackball,
cool.
or I think. I'm not sure.
Enemy spotted B.
Keyboards are all mangled. I never realized how hard of a time it would have with keyboards.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
You want to ask it to just do a keyboard? We could
Enemy
probably do
spotted
this all
B.
day. We can move on.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Yes, I do. I do want to do that. Pick Creator. What kind of keyboard would you like?
I feel like I want to give it something that I'll actually be able to do. I'll just say a mechanical, 10 keyless mechanical desktop keyboard. Mechanical keyboard, not desktop.
How the heck do you spell 10 keyless?
It's just
Headshot.
10.
My ultimate is ready.
I'm just gonna put TK.
Last player standing.
Yes.
Yeah, but is it one word?
Yeah.
Are you sure? That doesn't seem right.
I think so.
I could be wrong.
Okay, desktop keyboard for gamers?
Yep.
Okay, alright, here we go. What does a keyboard for gamers look like according to Dolly?
And yes, it's one word.
Cool.
The enemy only
Photorealistic?
looks
Yeah,
composed.
okay.
Their hearts tell
Ooh.
a different story.
It's working on it.
Yeah.
On my mark.
Oh!
On my
Oh,
mark.
wow, these characters,
there.
though. I mean, I guess it makes sense they would just make their own language. Why would their language need to be understandable by humans?
Yeah, but Dali's supposed to be able to do
Other more different fish hook.
proper characters now. I'm
Fire
actually
coming out of the
surprised
log.
he didn't. There's some weird extra keys at the bottom left there.
Wow. This alphabet looks like my kid's
No
joke.
I feel like that on those keys is pretty
Yeah.
random.
Wow. These are kind of cool. Yes. Assuming
They're
that
just
they're not
random size keys.
Yeah,
though.
so long that they don't move down. No legend though, you know, hardcore mode.
Yeah.
Dan, you're
Yeah.
into it, right?
Sorry?
No legend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, a bunch of people are saying, I don't know if it uses the last model. I highly suspect this is a previous version of Dali. There was a number of things there that it did very poorly that I have absolutely seen the newer version do a lot better. Looks like DALL-E 2, yeah, it kind of feels like it. The hands on modern DALL-E are way better, and modern
Spike
DALL-E can
down,
do
B.
text properly without making up like
Welcome
alien
to
language.
my world.
So, yeah, but I mean it's free in Paint, so
Yeah, I know.
One enemy remaining.
But yeah, it's free for a bit.
oh, are the tokens daily or all time?
I'm not sure. But what I do know, is that we've got a few merch things to
30
talk about
seconds
that I
left.
kind of put off for a bit because we spent so much of the show talking about merch.
More merch things.
The retro driver is now available. Technically, it was available a week ago, but we actually never formally were like, yeah, it's available.
Last player
So
standing.
it's a fun retro gaming or Frieza themed color. Also, our Philips and Torx bit sets are back in stock. Oh, that explains why we sold so many bit sets that day. We're also launching an upgraded magnetic
Heal
chest
yourself.
strap for the backpack.
Kill yourself.
It's yeah.
Okay, these are
Not peak.
So yeah, I
super
think
cool.
you've shown me
Try
one
it
of
out.
these before.
Not down there, Luke.
Why
I
peak?
didn't realize
Why
it was on
peak?
my screen. So slides like that, nice and easy. Oh yeah, it kind of grabs itself, so you don't have to like. I'm gonna not look. There we go.
You don't have to slide it at all when you put it together.
Look your enemy in the eye.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
helps with
Isn't that
Totally
cool?
just grabs.
But try to rip it apart.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
There, Luke.
I didn't realize.
The backpack. Also, our Philips and Torx bit sets are back in stock. Oh, that explains why we sold so many bit sets that day. We're also launching an upgraded magnetic chest strap for the backpack.
It's yeah.
Okay, these are
So yeah,
super
I think
cool.
you've shown me
Try
one
it
of
out.
these before.
Well, not the backpack. Also, our Philips and Torx bit sets are back in stock. Oh, that explains why we sold so many bit sets that day. We're also launching an upgraded magnetic chest strap for the backpack.
It's yeah.
Spike
Okay,
down,
these
mid.
are
So yeah, I
super
think
cool.
you've shown me
Try
one
it
of
out.
these before.
Well, not down there, Luke.
I didn't realize it was on my screen. So slides like that, nice and easy. Oh yeah, it kind of grabs itself, so you don't have to like. I'm gonna not look. There we go.
You don't have to slide it at all when you put it together.
Embarrassing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Totally just grabs.
But try to rip it apart.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. I've seen this before.
Super cool. So these are from Fidlog.
One enemy remaining.
They are not
Very easy.
Yes,
Easy, man.
How did you not get
There
her?
can only be one
Side to side,
hero.
it just is not gonna happen.
They are not cheap. They are $19.99.
You want me serious?
It just
You
goes
got
in
me.
as a drop-in replacement for the stock
it
chest
done.
strap, which just has a more traditional. I don't even know what to call it, like the kind of anchor-looking thing that goes into the other
It's a
thing.
buckle.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, more traditional buckle, and
I need a gun.
it's really cool. We just saw these things and we were like, "Oh, these are amazing." So people are already like, "Make a belt with it." That is actually where you went first. It didn't make sense. It's too bulky, and like getting it through the loops is kind of a pain in the butt. And
Right.
we haven't worked on our own pants yet. We could have made our pants.
Shotgun's coming in from Fade.
Okay, what are we creating? Like a walled garden ecosystem of clothing that only works
Euro
with
was
each other?
there as
Yeah, it
well.
doesn't really make any sense.
You want to buy this belt? Do you already own LTT pants? No?
Then forget it.
Can't buy it.
Also, we would like some community feedback. A substantial number of the hoodies that we ordered for LTX ended up with logos that were crooked and didn't meet our standards. We are hoping to repurpose these hoodies by covering the LTX logo that's on them and crooked with something else. One of the ideas was an updated version of our iconic WAN couch. There's not really a couch in it anymore, but that's okay. That's a minor detail. That's what it looks like. It's pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool.
We both have beards now.
Yeah.
And we have an ugly, stretched out
It looks terrible.
hexagon wall. But hey, is it true to real life?
Yes.
Yes. I don't make the rules. Here's a mock-up of what it would look like on a Riley. Maybe like slightly different and less cheaply photoshopped than that, but yeah, basically that. So let us know, guys, if you'd be interested in something like that. I think we only have a few hundred of them, but
people are saying Brad.
Brad, really?
It would totally work.
I mean, they're just patches. Like, we can get different patches, I guess. We could just have multiple different patches.
Don't tell people that you can do that. Don't tell people that you get different patches.
I mean, it's too late.
Many enemies,
Podboy says VTuber girls. Yeah, we should throw Lena and Lucy at it. There you go.
Why do we even do this?
They just dropping from heaven to us.
Stop hating money.
Nice job.
Actually, you guys are.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
The chat's just bread. What?
Make the spot Velcro and sell the patches on the store.
I hate that that's the smartest thing I've ever
That's a pretty interesting idea.
The modular tie-dye shirt.
Please do that.
You
I don't even talk to you. So you guys are...
Nice.
The chat's just bread. What?
Make the spot Velcro and sell the patches on the store.
I hate that that's the smartest thing I've ever
That's
heard.
a pretty interesting idea.
The modular tie-dye shirt.
Please do
Imagine
that.
you came to one of the whale lands.
We have building
Last player
DLC.
standing.
105.
Let's go.
Yeah.
The DLC sweater. Oh my god, the patch could be the same, but could go on multiple products. So you could put the patch on your backpack.
Alright.
Fine, let's send that email.
Come on. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually
From all of
Match
us.
point.
That's pretty cool.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, well, do a merch message or something.
People like it.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's sweet.
Alright, okay, I'll give it to you. And we'll do the bread just to thank you for the cool idea.
Thanks for playing, chat.
Patches bonus bin? Yeah, maybe. I don't know how much a patch costs. I have no idea.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, you need to make the Velcro in a logo or pattern so that it looks good without.
Oh, if you could do the LTT logo in Velcro, probably with the stitching and stuff like that.
That might actually not be that easy.
That sounds really hard.
Yeah, because you have to sew on the Velcro.
Oh, so you have to follow
it's
the
going to
whole
need to
thing.
be just a patch, probably. You know.
Could you do different colors of the Velcro? So could it be like a square, but have orange LTT in the middle?
Have you ever heard the term scope creep?
Oh, can the Velcro have a dark mode? Here, well, Linus sends an email. I got one for you, Luke. Before she come over here and strangle me.
Where'd you plan?
Hello, lads. Love the content and got into IT
One
because
enemy
of
remaining.
LTT.
Nice.
If you guys had to completely rebuild your technical infrastructure from scratch, what would you do differently?
Attackers win.
This question changes a lot if you say, like, with the information we had at the time or not, because honestly, I stand by the technical decisions that we made. But I could have been completely clairvoyant. I would have moved to TypeScript and React a little bit sooner, and would absolutely not have hitched my horse to Sails. That's the biggest one. But Sails looked really promising at the time, and like a lot of these language or framework or platform or whatever decisions that you end up making, just kind of gotta go off what you have. And when a lot of these things are maintained by companies, in the case of some of them, where like maybe it's Facebook maintaining the language, maybe Facebook just decides, I don't know, we don't want this thing anymore, who cares? And then they'll just dump it, and then it's not going to be supported for you anymore. Or it's a completely open source thing, and the maintainer might just disappear. Yeah, you could pick up that torch, but now you're doing a wild amount more work than you originally intended to, because your goal was to make this thing on top of it, not it. And now you're doing both? You might not have enough time for that. You might not have enough budget for that to be able to bring in more developers and stuff. So it is what it is. You're going to make some mistakes sometimes. That's how it goes.
I got something good for you. Dealerships can't shift EVs. Around 4,000 American auto dealerships have signed an open letter asking the federal government to moderate its EV adoption targets because they are struggling to offload an excess supply of electric vehicles, despite EV sales hitting record highs. They currently have over a 90-day supply of EVs, only a 30-day supply of internal combustion engine vehicles, and a mere 2-week supply of hybrid electric vehicles. Tesla, leading seller of EVs, is not included in these numbers due to its direct-to-consumer model. There's a bunch of other stuff in here, but my point is I was right. Chevy Bolt.
Dude, yeah, the hybrid electric. I want a hybrid electric Acura TL. I would be so happy.
Back when I bought the Volt, the only reason I bought it was that the traditional car companies, Honda, do you know how many Honda Clarities they allegedly, this is just based on hearsay from a random Honda dealer, so I don't know if it's accurate or not, but apparently it was like less than 20 Clarities.
I was gonna say, I thought it was like 4.
Entire model year.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lot less than that, but I am going higher than what I recall, just to make sure that it's a greater chance that it's right.
Yeah.
It was like, I've seen like 2 on the road, ever. It was the car I wanted to buy because it has the advantages of EV. I get to drive in the HOV lane. I get to not burn gas on my daily commute, and it has the advantages of a gasoline car in that I can go long distances and quickly refuel without having to worry about finding public charging infrastructure. It was so obvious, but only because I happen to be a tech nerd and did a whole bunch of research into it, and I am pragmatic to a fault.
Most people that I know that know of like good hybrids like the Volt, or sorry, most people that I know don't know about good hybrids like the Volt.
Yeah, and the problem is that the dealers apparently just had no idea what was going on, and people didn't understand it. I remember talking to this other guy at a dealer who was like, yeah, this guy traded in his Volt, and I was like talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah, sorry, what? I just put gas in it the whole time. He drove it for years. And I'm sitting here going, are you kidding me? Just you don't. It doesn't even have to be in your garage. You can just run an extension cord. It comes with a charger that just plugs into the wall. There's literally no reason in BC, Canada.
Real estate.
There is no reason not to use the cheap electric power that we have.
Yeah, it's like the only thing we have going for.
And it's like
financially.
Toyota figured it out. Like the Prius Primes sucked the first couple generations. I shouldn't say it sucked, but the range was not enough. Not enough for my daily commute, not enough for a lot of people's. And so you'd have to put gas in it on a very, very regular basis. I believe the latest model has way better all-electric range, and the RAV4 Prime is killing it. I have no idea how long the wait list is for that thing now, but it was just... Everyone was going, oh, the problem with gas is... this. It's just gas emissions now and forever, and gas is super expensive, and blah, blah, blah. And the problem with all electric is the range, and these batteries that are so costly and environmentally devastating to extract from the earth. If only there was some solution, but there isn't. And it was staring them in the face the whole time.
And not to single out a person, but a person 123 on Floatplane said, the big problem with plug-in sorry, my throat's still a little bit messed up, but the big problem with plug-in hybrids is you have the cost and weight of both drivetrains. Not really, Mike.
Not quite, because you also don't have the weight of all those batteries, and you also don't need the same kind of chutzpah in your ICE drivetrain, right?
And you're not running it.
Because that's the thing. Like the Volt, for all of its being generally a very boring dad car, actually not that bad right off the line because it uses the battery. It uses the electric motors. And the Volt's a weird one because it's technically an EV with an onboard gasoline generator.
Yeah.
Right? But like at the end of the day, I sort of don't really care how you do it. As a consumer, all I care about is, well, I've got enough power that I can pass someone if I need to.
And they can be very efficient. Very, very efficient. You're talking about the weight. They can be crazy efficient.
Even if you are peak dumb and never plug in your Volt, it is a crazy efficient gasoline car.
Yeah.
It's just way too expensive because you paid for a bunch of batteries that you're not using because you're a big dum-dum.
That was dumb. But the like plug-in hybrid Priuses, crazy efficient. The plug-in hybrid Volts, crazy efficient. I'm not worried about the extra weight.
Yeah, and man, I remember talking about this back when we were going into the pandemic. GM canceled the Volt at the worst possible time. They would have sold so many Volts because the big problem with it was that it was expensive with a value proposition that was difficult for people to understand. And then all of a sudden, cars were just generally more expensive, so they could have made margin on it, and gasoline went through the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, whoops. They would have sold thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
Yep.
GM hates money, says William Comart. Yeah, I know, right? It's like they try to make the worst possible decisions. I just don't know how to deal with it. Like, to be clear, I'm not like a fan or anything. I don't care, but just that car, it just made so much sense. It just made so much sense. And it's validating, I guess, to see everyone going, well, this makes sense. Yeah, that's why they only have 2 weeks of stock of hybrid electric vehicles, because they're so awesome. They're a great middle ground. Yeah, people are not into GM and their decisions in general.
I am into plug-in hybrids, though. I would like to eventually have one. That's the only thing I feel like I'm lacking with my car. Literally.
Love my Volt so much that after I replaced it, I bought it from myself. Seriously, the company owns it now, and we just use it to run little errands.
Which makes a ton of sense.
Perfect for that.
Because again, the plug-in hybrid, it's going to be borderline free to drive back and forth between the office buildings. It's going to be borderline free to run into town and grab something and come back. And then if it needs to run really far,
then it can.
No problem.
We have to go pick up a CRT in the interior BC because we don't want to ship it for whatever reason.
Send it. No problem. Super efficient.
Yep.
Comfortable. Easy going.
Linus, that car made no sense on Transformers. Like the movie?
What?
The Volt was in Transformers?
I believe so.
Okay, that. Yeah.
What?
Really?
Why?
Chevy Volt Transformers. That is not how I might have voted it.
It's supercar?
Oh, wow.
I can't afford that.
Jolt. This was a huge problem for Chevy. They had the Bolt, okay, which was like an entry-level EV. They had the Volt, which was a completely different car, the plug-in hybrid vehicle. And now, I'm only just learning about this, they had Jolt, a character from Transformers that is a Volt. Are you kidding me?
That's really stupid. It also looks really stupid. Like, the Transformer looks dumb.
I'm sad now. Very sad.
They like Nintendo Wii U'd this car.
Wow.
Like what?
Like Bumblebee, but dumber.
Yeah. I thought that like
Bumblebee's
translucent blue thing under him was like his beard.
They're flying electric
Hey, man.
vehicle called the Molt. Yeah.
Hey, man.
That's what,
How you
It's really
doing?
close to vultures. I started playing Pokemon Go recently.
How you
So
doing?
sad. I want to go and get my Colt.
Hey is better.
Sorry, you're not playing Final
I'm
Fantasy
GC
VI?
in
I'm ahead
RL.
in the
Want
challenge.
any
Is that?
help?
No, yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm still like
in
mildly sick,
RL.
so I've been
What
able
does
to go to
that
the gym.
mean?
So I haven't played video
I'm
games.
getting really antsy.
Oh,
So I
what
wanted
that
something to do.
means.
And that old game, I don't even remember the name of it right now, but the game that I was
Say
playing
hi,
to go
bitter.
for walks for a while there,
Yeah.
I
Grand
like
champ.
leveled out. I got to the point where it's better to just sit at home, and I'm like, that's stupid. So I
Oh.
stopped playing that game. So I started playing
Well, why
Pokemon
don't
Go
you
again, and
watch
there's all
me
these
play
actually
it,
cool
then you
things.
can give
What I
me
wanted the other
whatever
game to
help
do,
you think I
Pokemon Go has
need.
been doing this whole
Bitter.
time, and I just kind of forgot it
Grand
existed.
Champion 2.
It has like a feature now called Routes,
Oh yeah.
where there'll be like a trail, and it'll show you how to get to the trail. And if you walk the whole trail, it gives you a bonus at the end.
That's
and stuff.
cool.
It's great.
It's cool.
Oh, Pokemon chat. GM is built.
It's called
Say bitter.
What
I
the
can't
fuck?
see.
It's called
Say
Orna.
hi,
Yeah.
bitter.
So Orna was cool until
NBM.
Now you can see. I was just changing
But
something
hopefully
real
they
quick.
fixed it. I
I don't know what my
Hey, how's
key
Final
is.
Fantasy VI going? So
All my developers were here and stuff. I didn't even
So you haven't even
I gotta
finished
play this weekend.
you haven't even finished the
That's why I spend the whole time hanging out.
fight in the in the snow.
Say bitter.
No, I'm still pending.
Okay, take off
Alright,
camera
okay.
shake.
Alright. Well, hopefully you remember how to play.
Yeah.
What?
I think you'll be alright. Yeah. Police warn about name dropping.
What does that mean,
Full
take off
feature
camera
name
shake?
drop. Apparently, both users must agree for any information
settings?
for
Say
any information
bitter.
transfer to take place between
In
the
settings.
phones.
Take
but
off the camera
phone,
shake?
If it is within an inch or two of another and both phones are unlocked,
Say bitter.
something
There's something
potential
called
threat to
camera
children,
shake.
they may not have
Okay,
that.
did I just do
I
it?
don't really understand exactly what the problem is with this. It seems fine. Okay, cool. EA patents self-insert character voices.
What? Why would you want to do that?
Well, this is the ethical version of AI voices in your games. You record your own voice, and then it trains a model. Interesting. Based on the filing,
Say
the system would likely use a sample of the
Now
player's
work
speech
and won't
in order
wiggle
to
everything
recreate
you
it
hit
during
the ball.
dialogue and perhaps allow them to speak directly to the game's characters depending on the nature of the game. EA appears to be attempting to patent the technical aspects of the system rather than the concept in and of itself.
That's an interesting idea. Being able to talk directly is a very interesting idea. That feels like a future step.
Oh my god, what a dumb ass!
I don't think we're there yet to the point where it would actually be good. I feel like that would be a thing for sure.
Have we talked about Kalios?
What do we have in chat in this game? What the fuck happened to voice chat in this game? They added it and then it was gone like 2 weeks later.
So yeah, you
Tell me what happened with that,
mentioned it.
Jay.
I think
Ray.
Okay, so in response to our original call-out,
Say. Tell me what happened, Say. What the fuck
Kalios is
happened?
going to finally offer a full refund to its original
Where did
crowdfunding
chat
backers
go?
for that passive case. A community member sent us a September
Where did voice
19th
chat
from
go?
Kalios to backers. In the post, Kalios acknowledges that the product that resulted from
Bouncing
the
it up
campaign
through, that guy puts
that
it off
though
the
it exceeded
post.
promises did so late and at a significantly higher price point than exceeded that the product they eventually
Say
built.
bitter.
It's really
It's
good, you
stupid
guys.
I was in
but
top
it's
10K
late and at a
and my
much higher price
TMA
point.
didn't come once.
Even if that price point would have been a more realistic target for a low.
And there's a goal from the back
Point is,
court.
it's late and it's way more expensive, but it is better. That's what they're saying. Sorry about that. And any backers who backed the original, worse, cheaper version can get a full refund or the option of a voucher that can be used to buy one of 500 of the new one in a limited copper edition at a €1,200 price. If the backer does not want to buy the limited edition one, it will instead be made available for general purchase, and the proceeds will be used to refund backers.
Want help?
So this is a quote. We will ensure that every backer who requested a refund gets it, and while the mechanism is
you
formally tied to
motherfuckers.
units being sold,
Say
for
neither.
regulatory and accounting
Still
requirements,
come.
the refund will be honored
Want
regardless
help?
of the
I'll
allocated
come.
unit being sold. A survey will be sent to
Say
backers to
neither.
confirm their choice.
I'll use
Those
voice.
who do
He'll
not
use voice.
respond will be considered as
How
a
do you
refund.
use voice? How come I can't use voice right
Quote,
now?
Some might argue that this should have been the option from day one. But there have been many factors at play, and without many business compromises, especially from Streetcom, this was simply not a viable option for us
Saying
until now.
You order TM8S
So
don't
the
have
discussion
fun though.
question here is, would LTT
Saying
now
neither.
consider covering Callius?
So they
Is
can't
this
hear you.
later better than never? Yes.
Oh, you think I have to turn it back
I
on,
want to
maybe?
hear from a backer who requested a refund, who got money, and then
Get out of my way,
know
you
what?
fuck!
I won't even ask for a review sample. I'll buy one. I will buy one and review it.
Saying
That's my
neither.
deal.
No,
I'm
they
not
have it
asking
turned
for
off.
any.
Oh my god, I
or
fucking
anything.
put it over the
just
roof.
Really love this kind of technology. I want to cover it. And if they are gonna,
The
move
fuck
forward
outta here. Why
in
you trying to
good
put that on our
faith
own
to make
map?
their backers whole, then I think that the coverage that I said that I would give it when I demanded that they make that option available. Well, I think that if they're willing to move forward in good faith, then I should make sure that I'm not putting any additional burden on them, and I think we should cover it. So I'll buy one of those copper limited edition ones or whatever, as long as I actually hear from someone with proof that they got a refund, if assuming they want one. So guys, you'll have to maybe get in touch with us the same way as last time. How did we do that? I don't remember, but linustechtips.com or linustechtips.com.
Want me to send my
linustechtips@gmail.com.
epic in
I think it's our
chat?
public inbox still.
The previous person.
Oh my god!
Oh, who'd they contact? I don't even know.
I don't actually remember how it worked. I helped
Go with the
happen.
public-facing inbox, the one that's on the main LTT channel.
Yeah. Have you heard about this? Do you know about this? This next one?
Oh, I went to the Discovery one.
Discovery.
Yeah, I actually don't think this other one's.
Is that what I need to do?
Saying Ibiter.
But it's not very.
They have voice chat turned
Okay,
off,
fine,
not
let's
you.
talk about it. Let's talk about
It's
this.
interesting. It's not realistic at all. Input lags, blah blah blah. Anyway,
I'm about to go
running
eat dinner
both
at
frame rate
this game,
generation
so
and fluid
sadly,
motion
otherwise I
at
would
the
have
same time. A South Korean tech outlet, Quasar Zone, claims that they have managed to run NVIDIA's frame generation and AMD's fluid motion frame technology simultaneously.
Little side
Although
wiper.
they showed the benchmark results, but no footage, and probably for good reason.
Using the big gas and the rotational force
the frame rate
to put the
using
angle
a
on it.
resolution in 4K and Ultra settings. Quasar Zone plugged in an RTX 4090 and an RX 6600
Saying
into the same
neither.
PC. Installed both
Add
their
me
drivers.
anyway, so
then
when you
hooked
go
up the
live
primary
again, you can
display to
IMB
the
me.
6600.
Why
while
don't you
the
send me your name and then
4090
you add me and then I'll
was
accept
viewed
your
in
friend
Windows,
request?
So that the 4090s
What's wrong with my teammate, dude?
passed through the 6600, while the average was good. The 1% lows either barely increased or even decreased for most games. It also increased
Saying Ibiter.
artifacting and input lag,
What's your
and I
user?
suspect by a rather
Saying
significant
Ibiter.
amount.
IGN.
Discussion question. This is a
Grappy
terrible
DP
idea.
on everything.
Should we do it?
It's gotta be rough.
This reminds me of the time that we ran SLI and Crossfire.
Oh yeah.
In the same computer at the same time. That was so frustrating.
Why did my teammate do that again? That's my teammate doing that.
A not insignificant period of time. Like, it was really awful. Yeah, it did. It looked super cool. And honestly, people didn't even think it was that interesting of a video. Like, there was a lot of feedback on that video, and around that time, that we've like jumped the shark and lost touch. And it's like, well, that's not why we did it. So because we thought it was a good idea. We just thought we thought kind of wild, cool.
I thought it was cool.
But it's tough, right? Because it's always a fine balance, right? Like, if we do nothing but practical content,
say-
how you can build an affordable computer.
Send me
people
your
will turn out
thing.
this report. And if we do, out there like spectacle content, people will tell us
I need to
we've lost
go
touch, right?
because I can smell that fucking shit about to
Some
be
of this,
burning
some
in
of
the
that,
oven.
something in between. Just keep.
What's my
Come on,
username?
spaghetti on the wall!
DP,
Come
right?
on, Molly, just
Scrappy DP. There.
Discovery content has been removed from PS
What?
users'
Yeah.
libraries. That's right,
The old
PlayStation.
Epic and make sure.
Sony posted a legal notice stating that the content made by the Discovery Channel that users
H1 shot
purchased
traffic.
Oh, you're.
No
Oh, I have
longer
to add you
negative
through
view
Epic
after the
Games.
end
Add
of
that
this
I can't
year.
add.
I
The content
have.
will not just be removed from the service. It will be removed
I have,
from paying customers' libraries. This is apparently
My Rocket League is not through Epic Games.
a licensing issue related to Discovery's
Through
recent
Steam.
merger with Warner Brothers. And our discussion question here is,
Do we own anything we buy online?
Steam.
And the answer is no.
No.
Have
That's why.
offline copies.
But I also have
you have
an
one.
Epic account.
And have this message from D-Brand, or you have no WAN Show After Dark. That's right. We've got a sponsor for WAN Show After Dark, which Dan is...
That's your name? Why is there an H1TO Trappy and an H1TO Tappy GRRRR?
Yeah.
And why do you have nothing there?
Oh, wow.
Are you a spammer? Total earned XP. It looks like
it's the
everything's
new
locked down.
X-ray skins that they...
Zayibiter.
You eat them.
No.
Okay, that was worth the
Why do you have two
I'm
names?
sure.
Zayibiter.
They
I can
launched
prove.
these as part of the...
Okay, well, we'll play some other day when I get, but I gotta go. I literally gotta go pull the shit out of the oven.
Everything, and you guys are going to make money on these. I mean,
Appreciate you for coming.
To me, obviously.
Thanks for the tip
That's right,
on
we
changing the
stopped
camera
into the
settings. I'm gonna have to tell my buddy to do the same thing. I'll be back on later tonight, though. Give me
hi,
probably an hour or so. I'll be back
See, I
on.
added back.
Yeah, well, of course.
Credit for
'cause
the
you want,
honesty, man.
maybe you
Say
want
hi,
something
Peter.
from me. Maybe you're trying to spam me
So
with
I'm
something.
not
So I guess
spam.
I'm now
That doesn't
obligated
mean
by
that
my
you're not spam. That's
responsibility
the way
to
to
our
actually get to
shareholders
me.
to tell you that you need to buy
But okay,
X-Ray.
yep. I'll be back
or
on
else
at some point.
We will not make money.
Wow.
Have a
Buy
good
the
night.
real one. you know?
Yeah, anyway.